Hello, hello, and welcome back to more Satisfactory. I see I am about to be exploded as usual.
I'm gonna leave that, and then at some point during the session, you're just gonna explode. Unless it's in your way, and then I'll explode it now.
Oh, can I explode it myself? Can. Amazing.
That was me. I exploded it.
Oh, you did? Oh, I see.
Yeah, I exploded it.
All right. What was I gonna say? Hello. Also, hello, Slushy. Hello.
Hi, Slushy. Hi.
I gotta say this. I know you two were chatting earlier, and I've stolen Guilt Round away from you.
We were talking about fighting games and how I think they're lame.
Oh, have either of you two played any fighting games?
I have played a few fighting games. I've never had a good time on any of them, except for Yomi Hustle and Lethal League, and then they're the only two I can say are good.
My only experience with fighting games is I had Street Fighter 4 for the Xbox 360, but by the time I tried playing it, it was sort of late. Oh, he got me.
Got him.
It was late. It was late in the life cycle of my Xbox controller, and I had a lot of like drifting problems.
Oh, ouch.
You know, a lot of yeah, I think it's drift, like drift, and so basically,
yeah,
it wasn't going to happen.
Drift is the word. Drift is the word.
Yeah. Like if you have stick drift on a fighting game, you're not playing a fighting game. You can do literally nothing, and I didn't like realize it at the time, so I just had a really bad time. I thought, well, I sucked this game, and I just never played it again. That's like my only experience with fighting games. But let me tell you the story. This is this is the highlight. This is the highlight of my week, and this is shows you just how boring my life is. So I was walking to the store to buy a cheeseburger, as I do, and I see dumped in the road a trouser press, specifically a Corby 7700 trouser press.
Hang on. I need to pause the story for a second. I need to ask a question.
Go ahead.
What is a trouser press?
It's, as the name suggests, it's an automatic trouser ironer. It irons a nice crease in your trousers automatically. You just stick your trousers in there, turn it on, and it irons your trousers. I had more health that time.
It nearly got you.
And then I thought I don't really need a trouser press. I've never had any particular troubles ironing trousers, but it was free. It's free. It just dumps there. So I pick it up, carry it home with me, and have a look at it. Turns out the foam inside it had deteriorated. That's probably why it was dumped. So I just took the foam out and put an ironing board cover in there instead, and it works perfectly fine. And so I was like, oh, cool, neat to have, free, can't turn down free things. And then just out of curiosity, I was curious, how much these things cost? How much, because it didn't seem like a particularly complex device. So I go on Amazon, and I look up the name of the trouser press, and it retails for £200.
What the fuck?
And, so I'm like, oh wow, that's a nice find there. But honestly, I gotta say it, this thing is ludicrously overpriced. Let me tell you the mechanism of this device. It has a heating element. It's just like a flat, I don't know what you call them. It's like the kind of thing you have inside a heated blanket. It's just a series of wires in like a silicone thing or something. Very, very simple, very simple. Probably doesn't cost very much money. And then it has a piece of wood. It's not even real wood. It's like IKEA wood rubbish. And then a very simple mechanism, like a little hinge joint to smush them together.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the whole thing.
Damn. Is it old? Is it vintage?
I don't know. Since they still sell the product, it looks like something straight out of the 70s. It's got that kind of wood veneer finish type thing. But they still sell this exact same product, so I have no idea how old this particular one is. The plug, the little tag on the plug, the little paper tag, has also completely deteriorated, so it suggests that maybe this is one from the 90s or something. But it works perfectly fine. I guess I don't need to iron my trousers anymore, but but I would not, if you're thinking of buying a trouser press and you think, oh, £200, it must do some magic. No, it's literally a heating element and a piece of wood smushed against it. That is the mechanism. You could, if you wanted to, you could probably buy a heated blanket for £20, put your trousers on it, and then smush a piece of wood on top of that, put some weight on it, and that will do the exact same thing. It's completely overpriced. There we go. That's how boring my life is. That's a highlight of my week. I find a dumped trouser press.
I mean, it could be worse. You got a free trouser press.
Absolutely. It's very compact as well. It's like standing up, so it's like it doesn't take up very much room.
As a free product,
I love free things. Like you have no idea how many if I see something dumped, I just I'm taking that home with me. Like it's like I'm scavenger pilled. I'm scavenger pilled. There's something else I got. This was like a year ago or something. Let me Google the name of it to find it.
see.
Yes.
Do this here.
Desk lamp, I think it's called. With springs, I think. So it's really big, magnifying desk lamp thing. Yeah, it's like a LED magnifying desk lamp, and these things sell. It depends on the one. The particular one I've got sells for about £60, and
I see.
I have absolutely no need for a magnifying desk lamp. It's like those things, like it's like you see how like movies where it's like he looks through the glass and it's like the ring light and he's looking through the magnifier through the ring light and it's all like got springs and adjustment things on it so you can put it wherever you like. It's like that kind of thing. And it's like kind of big as well. It's got very strong springs. And I've absolutely no need for one, but I found one. And it's just like sitting in a corner somewhere. There it is.
Interesting.
I found a dumped TV or monitor. I don't actually know which one. Curved one, a big, fancy looking, very modern one. However, I've no idea if it works or not. It's been sat in a room for like a year now because I don't have the power cable for it. And I'd have to go and buy a power cable for it, but it's like a gamble. It's like, what if it's broken? Like, I have no idea. It's just one of those things. Well, one of these days I'll find one.
you can test electronic. If it's broken, you have to buy the power cable. But that's kind of like what, a little bit of money to get like a good test.
Well, it could be
possibly something really good.
It could be broken in a multitude of ways. You know, like maybe
that's true.
maybe it's got a crack in the screen. You know, like maybe it's some funky software issue. Like who knows? Like, it could be millions of problems. Like until you just plug it in and find out, you have no idea. But,
while true, it might be worth it.
But I just haven't got around to it. It's a weird, uncommon plug. I think it's not a 12 volt plug. It's a 13 volt plug, and it's like, where the hell am I going to find that? Like, I haven't been going to the charity shops quite as much lately, and they usually have like
find it.
Like if you go to charity shops, they'll sometimes have like a little box of, cables, like SCART cables and HDMI cables and stuff, and I'll probably find one in there, but I haven't been to the charity shops much lately.
They do kind of suck from what I've heard.
From me.
You hate the charity shops.
They've really gotten worse. I used to buy loads of stuff from the charity shops. I would go there several times a week, and it would be like every single time there was new stuff there, but now they have the same stuff for like months at a time, and like it's all junk and overpriced, and I haven't bought anything for ages now. It's very
I see.
Very, very bad, very bad.
Oh, that's interesting. You can stack conveyor poles and hypertube poles on top of each other perfectly.
What are you talking about?
You can come take a look. I'm doing a thing.
Where are you? Let me go have a gander.
I'm currently building. I'm schmilding right now.
Because I haven't played the game in a while, so I've like forgotten like everything about like what the hell's a conveyor pole?
Fair. Well, okay, the stackable conveyor pole, that thing.
Oh, conveyor! I think of power line for some reason. I don't know.
Why are you thinking power line?
I know it conveys power. See, I'm rusty.
You can stack it like this.
Oh, that's really neat. That's a good feature.
That's kind of neat. It is. And you know what I'm doing? I'm building a thing. I'm building like a proper entrance to this thing.
Yeah, you might. Or, yeah, you might as well.
Yeah.
You should probably bring like the whole hypertube like closer to the hub or something. Like it. That way we don't have to climb up this little hill.
Well, we don't have to climb up the hill at all. I'm making like a nice little walkway to it.
Yeah, it's good as well. Because you get launched out of it, you might have to have like a wall so you don't like go too far or something. You got to crash.
I will do that. I'll make a barricade. Don't worry about it. Actually, we don't even need to launch it. If I get rid of this, it doesn't even launch us that much. But like,
so
but Geltron, how are we gonna get down at the gravity? Duh.
gravity. Yeah, I guess so.
It'll work.
So tell me about your life, Geltran. What eventful things have been going on in your life? Can you compete with my story about the trouser press?
I've been on break recently. I've been on a little bit of a break.
You're broken?
No, a little bit of a break, like a little rest, like a little bit of a rest.
That's nice. That sounds nice.
I'm on a mini hiatus, if you will. Not like a full hiatus because I'm still here.
He's on
right?
the sabbatical.
A little bit of a sabbatical. As a treat. I'm allowed to treat, right? Yeah.
As the Lord intended.
Yeah. Allowed a little bit of a treat, you know. I'd like to think I'm allowed a bit of a treat.
Ooh, I like how that lines up. That looks good.
It does. I lined up intentionally. That was an intentional lineup, by the way. I made sure that I did that. Right, let's do.
So what have you been doing on your break? Anything fun or just zoning out?
So I have played like 40 hours of Monster Hunter World.
Oh,
in like 4 days.
I've heard that game's really popular. I heard it got like
no. It's not the new one because I can't run the new one.
Oh, I see. My brother told me the new one had like over 1 million players or something.
Yeah, it's really good, and everyone keeps telling me how it's really good, and I hate that everyone keeps telling me it's really good because I can't play it.
But why is it so popular? Like, am I right in that the previous game had like barely like a few 100,000 players?
It was always a good game. Like the Worlds was a pretty good game. Let me check the Worlds like play.
But it's not exactly Fortnite, is it? Like in terms of
it's not
mass
Fortnite.
appeal, like it seems like it's something that would be more niche.
Oh yeah, it's definitely going through that phase of like a niche game like becoming popular.
I see. Is it advertising that has done well for it?
Don't know. Like, okay, at all-time peak, Monster Hunter World, at all-time peak, right? Monster Hunter World had like a few 100,000 players, right?
Yeah.
And Rise, Monster Hunter Wilds is the new one, right? Take a look. Has like 1.3 million.
It's so much. It's such a huge increase. I don't know anything about the game. Like, it just seems like it's like I guarantee you there's like investors and stuff looking down. It's like, what the hell happened? Like, can we do this again?
I don't know. I don't know either. I think it's just because it got like gaming culture has become a bit like, okay, you're gonna hear some like gamer opinions from me right now. Gaming culture has become too like flavor of the month hype based. I hate it.
I guess so. Well,
I hate how gaming culture has become like, oh, did you play the hit new game, right?
I've noticed this with my brother also. Like he'll get some new game and he'll be like, oh yeah, look at this, and this is cool, you know. And then like a month later, he's like, oh, I'm done with that game now. Like, what?
Yeah, that's kind of how it is these days, right?
Like I'm used to that, like the old culture of like, you know, you buy a game, it's like you can
play
be
it
playing
for
it for
years.
years, yeah.
And I'm not an old school Monster Hunter player. I didn't play on the PSP, which is where it originally started.
That's interesting.
I started with Worlds. I came in with Worlds. Worlds was controversial because it was like the first not super Monster Hunter game. Like it was the first branch out into a wider audience, but it was still fun, right? It was still close enough. Wilds does the same.
I guess it's case by case. It's case by case. You know, sometimes you break away from the hardcore niche side of the game and you make it a bit more mainstream, a bit more appealing to everyone. Like it dilutes the game a little bit, but like sometimes it's an all-round improvement. You know, screw the old boomers, and sometimes they've just diluted the game.
See, that's the other issue, is that, like, because the old Monster Hunters were on consoles like the 3DS and PSP, they were solely on those, they didn't touch many other, well, they weren't solely on them, but they were on very few platforms. They didn't get as much appeal as Worlds did, because Worlds was also on more platforms in general. Like, it was just flat out on more things. So, like, me as a PC player, I didn't really have many choices to play Monster Hunter until Worlds came out, right? And then Worlds was like, hey, a bunch of my friends were playing Worlds. I was like, oh, try out Worlds. And I liked it. I liked it a lot. I played through it.
Mm-hmm.
It's also, because a lot of people are coming into the early point of Monster Hunter, they haven't touched the later part of the game. I don't think they're ready. I don't think they're ready, son.
I've heard it's, like, from the gameplay I've seen of it, it seems like it's kind of in like that kind of same vein as like Dark Souls, where it's like you've got this giant monster you're fighting, and a lot of the game is dodging its attack cycles and hitting at the right time and using like your equipment at the right time.
Very correct. It's a little different.
Those games are difficult. It's a skill game.
It's a little different from Dark Souls. There's like a few like key differences between Monster Hunter and Wilds. Monster Hunter is more arcadey in the sense that, unlike Dark Souls, where if you die you have to go collect all your souls back, and it's like it's one continuous line essentially, or one continuous playthrough. Monster Hunter is separated by levels. Like you go into a level, you hunt the monster, you finish your quest, right? It's more like segmented in that sense, but it's still like the moment to moment gameplay is very much you learn how to play the game, and you will learn how to play the game. And like even Wilds and like Rise still forced you to learn to play the game, right?
I think it could also be like the huge 1.5 or something million number. Like it could also be that gaming just keeps getting bigger, Like I have no idea. True. Like I have no idea. Like what the current top games like. I don't even. Is Fortnite even the top game anymore? Like it
is still top game.
What are the player counts of those games?
Something changed. Something changed back during the pandemic, right? And I'm gonna tell you my schizo theory. I have a schizo theory about this.
Go ahead.
Right. Back during the pandemic, a lot of people were shut in, so they were exploring new interests that they wouldn't usually explore outside the pandemic, because they had the time, they had the money, and they didn't have like anywhere else to put those things, so they usually would. So they tried out a bunch of like niche nerd culture stuff, right? And what the unfortunate thing is, right? Some benefited from that, some did not. But what's happened is executives saw the massive inflate of numbers for that like time period, and they thought oh yeah, let's just retain those players. Let's retain those people, right? Let's keep those people permanently part of our audience, not knowing that as soon as the thing ended, right? That they would just disappear, right? And they did in droves. They just disappeared. But what we got is a bunch of like higher ups, right? A bunch of higher ups in gaming trying to appeal to the more normie audience. I'm gonna call them the normie audience because they fucking are, right? Fucking outside dweller normie people, right? And they're like, and the executives are still trying to appeal to that crowd, and are like abandoning their current audience because of it.
Well, that's been going on sort of, but there's always a sort of, mass appeal versus cult appeal kind of thing. That's sort of like...
Yeah, companies that have always been doing that, but the pandemic hyper-accelerated it. It made them go, oh shit, our numbers are going like very, very up. Let's appeal to the normies. Rah, 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 rah. And then they did that, and then like the normies fucked off after the pandemic ended and after all the lockdowns ended, and they're still stuck trying to grab that audience while kind of ignoring their core audience that built them in the first place.
You've heard of the RuneScape issue thing, right? You've played RuneScape, right?
Okay, I know you're joking. Then the laugh caught me on. The laugh caught me on. I was about to say, son, we were doing so well.
But I don't know if there's been like any updates on it. But you heard remember the whole drama thing that happened recently, where they like very like aggressively tried to cash grab the game.
Yeah, I've heard they did that. I have heard about it. I don't know the exact details, but I know they did.
But RuneScape is like, it's another one of those games that during the pandemic exploded in popularity. Like it was already like succeeding really well, but it's like it's crossed like the threshold now where like I think I've like said this sort of right before, but it's like when old school RuneScape first got released, the men in suits were basically laughing at them. They're like, "Oh, okay, whatever. You can do this in a corner in the office. Just don't bother the real game where we're making money." And then the game was immensely popular. Immediately, it became like 5 times as popular as the actual game.
Yeah, because everybody wants to play old school.
But it's still it was still not competing with the sheer amount of revenue from the microtransactions from the main game. So, men in suits still weren't interested.
Yeah,
pandemic
happens,
high
play numbers,
and that all changes. The game gets immensely more popular, and now the men in suits are interested. And they're like, okay, you've got to introduce microtransactions, and
now we want to meddle with your game and change it up to be what we want it to be, because we know how to make a game successful. Yes, and they kill the player base.
Exactly.
Like every time, every fucking time. I hate it. I hate seeing the things I love be meddled with by people who don't enjoy it, but rather enjoy the money. I hate it.
I think what it is, is
it
that
makes me so mad.
These people, these sort of like executives and stuff, they don't stay at a company for very long. They
That's possible.
They'll get a job at like Jagex or whatever game, and they'll make these pushes for increased microtransactions, whatever. And then for like the first year or so, they'll make tons of money. You know, and they don't realize that this is like, you know, they're killing the golden goose or whatever, you know, and they'll get loads of money. They'll get all their golden eggs, and then they leave the company. And they put on their resume that they signed on at this company and they increased its profits by 200% or something, you know. Yeah. And then they use that to get a job at another company. Once they've left, the consequences of those decisions finally kicks in and the company like gets destroyed. And there's just hundreds of people doing this exact process, and their resume is just filled up with, I went to this company and I improved sales and blah blah blah.
That's exactly what happens. No, you're right. You're 100% right. And it's also these executives, they don't actually care about the media that they are meddling with, right?
Like, they may even be aware. Like they're probably aware that what they're doing is like a terrible design, but they don't care because it's for them. It's for them.
It's money in the short term.
Exactly.
Right, and that's all they want to chase. It's like, on the one hand, I get some gaming studios they're on like a wire thin budget, so any way to make money kind of like works.
Mm-hmm.
But for other ones, there is a level where I do not care about that. It's like, stop ruining the shit I love, motherfucker.
It's sort of like, it's an argument.
Me as a customer,
I'm usually like hesitant for arguments for gatekeeping. You know, because I think it's like you want more people to enjoy your thing and stuff, but when those people come in and they ruin it, then there is an argument for gatekeeping.
Yeah, it's like well, they don't. Well, those people who come in, they don't ruin it. They start by kind of liking it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what happens is like, so you got person A, person B. They enjoy niche thing. Mm-hmm. Person B invites one of their friends in. And their friend also enjoys it for what it is, but also enjoys playing with people. Person C then invites more people in. Person D...
This man is such a card game player. He has that goddamn comic remembered. He has it memorized, ingrained in his mind.
I have it ingrained. I'm sorry. Person D only enjoys playing with people. And he doesn't enjoy the game itself much. But Person D is numerous. There is a lot of Person D who just wants to do something with their friends, and you can respect that, right?
No, I'm not. I'm going to make a confession here. I'm Person D with VTubing. I don't care about idol culture.
I'm Person B, possibly C.
Just be yourself.
Very rarely Person A, but I'm becoming Person A slowly. And so Person D, and so the people see that there's so much of Person D, that Person C has got a lot of Person D friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the executives, Person X, I'm going to call them for executive, right? They see that and they're like, let's change it to appeal to Person D, right? Because there's lots of them. Now Person D, because Person D doesn't actually care about the franchise itself, right? They have no loyalty to the franchise. They have no understanding of the culture. They have no understanding. But they, like I said, they only care about playing with their friends. And again, I'm not going to fault them for enjoying playing with their friends. We all enjoy playing with our friends. There are games that I have bought to just play with my friends and not enjoyed them, and then like refunded them. But I refunded them. That was the thing. I refunded them. Right?
There's always like an element. There's like an element of, I don't want to say sacredness, but there's a delicacy to small niche hobby things, and those early adopters of the hobby, they understand that, and they will they will make an effort to keep this thing going, keep it like on its right track and stuff, and to keep
what makes it enjoyable around, because like you can take your thing and you can transform it. And it could have the same name and still be around, but it would have changed. For example, I'll give an example. Warhammer 40k. I used to be a massive 40k head, right? I used to be, right? Like, I used to love it. I used to think it was one of the most enjoyable. It was one of my favorite hobbies. I loved the universe. I loved playing the game. I loved painting the miniatures. I went down my locals and played it constantly.
I didn't know you've done mini painting. That sounds.
I
did that once, like 20 years ago, and I wasn't very good at it.
I'm pretty good at it. I got like a nice, cool like jet that I painted up really nice, and a bunch of Terminators along with it.
I think if I had more money or 3D printer, I would. I would try mini painting. It looks very fun.
At this point, I actively tell people not to go near Warhammer. Like, I actively tell people, do not go near this franchise. It's shit. It's genuinely bad, and the company who like run it deserve none of your money anymore.
Shit in what way? You mean shit as in like it's just like completely overpriced, or do you mean that the quality of the minis has also decreased?
Everything.
Really? That's
Everything has gone
sad
down. 10 years ago, Warhammer was a much better hobby. It was so much better. But they have like in the time like between, right?
It's gained a lot of popularity.
Because Warhammer got like a lot of sudden popularity, the people who behind Warhammer were like, okay, let's introduce like, you know, Space Marines, right? You know the Space Marine. Mm-hmm. You know the classic Space Marine. They changed them.
In what way?
They removed all like the cool like religious Knights of the Round Table iconography, right?
Really?
You know all that.
You
know all
that's
that stuff. That's like an entire
what,
defining thing.
They're
like, removing that. They removed that in droves. Like even the most like basic of Marine, who used to have like a bunch of purity seals and like some cool like Aquilas on him, some cool iconography, all gone. Your standard Marine looks tactical, right? Looks like very tactical. But that's the whole point.
Like I don't know anything about Warhammer 40k, but I'm distinctly aware of their unique take on the sci-fi, where there's a religious like zealotness to like the Imperium type people, you know, their leader, the Mr. Skeleton, he's a god, like he's literally like worshipped as a deity.
Exactly.
Like, there is a religious fervor to it. That's part of the law. That's part of the aspect.
It's part of the law. That's what makes it interesting, because it's very unique. But like they also did something else, right? So you know how the regular Space Marines, they were very wide. They were like chunky boys, right?
I guess so.
For the new Marines, they made them taller without increasing any other proportion. So they have normal human proportions now.
What's the motivation for that?
It was appeal. The new one, it was appeal. It was 100% like to appeal to the new people, because like they added these new Marine models as a separate like unit entirely, something called Primaris, right? And it was a new thing, new part of the lore, like a reinvention of the Space Marine essentially. And they were for like edition 7 they didn't exist. Edition 8 they were introduced, and for edition 8 and 9 they were used alongside the standard, what was now known as the founding Marines, right? Yeah, because they were there when the Imperium was founded. They were like the original, the classics, right? And then edition 10 came around. Suddenly, 90% of the classic Marine kits are removed off the web store. And if you look in the rule books, 90% of the rules are gone. Now, the Space Marines did have an issue. They did need to have some rules removed. They had a lot of units, like hundreds.
From an aesthetic point of view, the two things you mentioned, them getting taller and them getting less unique and more sort of generic military slop, to me, this reeks of lazy concept artists.
Yeah.
There is being an artist myself, the first few years of my adventures into art was entirely immersed in the concept art world.
Well, hold on, let me pause you there. I'm gonna say it's not that.
No.
Because the Sisters of Battle are still around, the Grey Knights are still around, and a bunch of other fucked up stuff is still in Warhammer. It was only the poster boy faction of Warhammer that got changed.
That strengthens my theory. That strengthens my theory. There is a thing in concept art where when something becomes like AAA, when it becomes really mainstream, it attracts big name concept artists, and these big name concept artists, I forget their names. They're a lot of them all like Chinese these days and stuff, but they don't play video games. They're not nerds. They're not nerdy people. And they're very sort of like up their own ass. They have a way of doing concept art which is sort of I think people don't like it today, but it was very, very trendy in like the early 2000s, early 2010s, where they just get like pictures of generic mechanical looking stuff and they photo bash it together. There's a term called photo bashing, where you just like collage photos and stuff, and they make everything look like that. And that's why like anything that's how you get like Michael Bay Transformers. And this was very much like the trend. And these concepts. This was this almost like philosophy to conceptize, where you've just got to make everything photo bashed, generic sci-fi nuts, and there was no appreciation for unique design things like think of something like Ratchet and Clank. Like that was like no one's making Ratchet and Clank anymore. Like if you have a unique design aesthetic, it's out there. Like they're the only things you got. There's 3 different like sci-fi styles. You've got the super technical Michael Bay's Transformer looking thing, which is a bunch of like jet engines and stuff with wires and stuff clobbered together. There's Steampunk, which is just that but with cogs instead. And then there's like the aeropunk stuff where everything's all smooth and random abstract shapes.
The iPhone aesthetic.
The iPhone. And all 3 of them are completely devoid of any inspiration, any vision whatsoever, and they were just completely pervasive. If you was a concept artist, this is what you was making. This is what you was desired to make. And it ruined so many series. So many series that were unique got ruined by this trend in concept art.
That's true. And but with the Warhammer franchise, it was not that big. It was never that big.
But
right?
It was
kind of big.
It got big, and then it attracts the slop.
It like, okay, but like games, there's other things with games. There's other issues with Games Workshop as well. But like one of the other issues was like there was a lot of people who. Like, the other thing is that, like, they removed a lot of the rule sets for old models, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, like, there's some classic models. Have you seen a Space Marine Dreadnought, Mr. Sun? I think you've seen one of those before,
I may have. Let me Google it.
It's the big mech with the, like, sarcophagus. It's with the sarcophagus on the front of it, yes.
What's it called?
Dreadnought. It's like...
Dreadnought.
It's very stubby, looks like it should actually be able to walk.
That.
You know
iconic,
the one. You know the
iconic.
one, right? It's gone. You can't play it anymore.
What?
Yep,
but that's
removed
like
from the rules entirely.
That like when I imagine Warhammer 40k, and I know nothing about Warhammer 40k. It's
that's like you picture, right?
But when
that's
I imagine the various like Space Marine guys, and they've got their religious garb on, and then I imagine the big rectangle-looking chunky boy. That's what I imagine. That's what I imagine, along with like fantasy type people as well.
Yeah, there's a new Celica one, but it looks like a generic mech.
Yeah, that's the concept art influence. Like there's this, here's exactly how they make mechs these days. This is the meta in concept art making mechs. You draw a random squiggle shape, and then you turn that into a mech. That's it. That's literally how they make mechs. And when you look at mechs, that's pretty much what it is.
Fuck.
And that's what they do.
That's fucked up.
There's a guy who made a joke about this. I wonder if we can find it. Mr. Concept Art. Can find it. It was like he got like the concept artists hated him like because he was poking fun at them. Let me show you.
He should be poking fun at them. I think I should give him money to poke fun at them more.
I'll open my art program to also show.
That's a decent looking robot.
Yeah, but look what it's made out of. There's a whisk in there.
There is a whisk in there. Oh,
this is the joke. This is the joke.
See, at a glance it looks fine, but then exactly. You're right.
He's got more of these. I want to find more of them.
That is, yeah. And I'm fine with like generic looking mechs. I like Titanfall, right? I know Titanfall's mechs are very generic mech looking, right? I say they're generic. They actually have a lot of detail in them. Teehee. They have like smoke launchers and camera sensors that you see on tanks, like put all over them in like smart places. They've got like a lot. They got a lot of like sort of like military stylings to them that like make it look practical and like realistic, right?
And Facebook. I don't know the Facebook.
Facebook user, haha.
Oh, see, it's kind of niche. It's kind of niche, but he made like a bunch of like a bunch of like sci-fi looking military dudes, and like the all the gear. It's like photo bash gear, but it's like you have like like an electric razor and like and like a whisk,
so right for that,
like a toaster and stuff. Because this is basically what concept artists do. They just like get random mechanical looking things and bash them together. And it's like, oh, there's your super soldier.
Stupid.
along with like all the other stuff there. Like you've got like the random Japanese writing that probably doesn't say anything, and then the the lens flare, and that's what they do. That's what they do.
Isn't even that isn't even Japanese.
Yeah, it's just random. Like
that,
it'll just be like random characters or something.
Oh wait, hang on. No, that is Japanese. Hold up.
I'm gonna make a guess. I'm gonna make a bet. I'm betting all my money in my bank account here that it probably says something like soup or something. Like it's probably just like
it might say something like soup.
Like knowing this guy, he would go to Google Translate and just find like some silly word and put it in Japanese.
Well, it's katakana, so you can actually like translate it directly sometimes.
Oh, I don't know my katakana off by hand.
Oh, I do. It's backwards. No, it's not backwards. It is backwards. What the fuck? It was backwards. Okay, that's why it looked weird. Right. Okay.
What does it mean?
Give me a sec. I'll get you what it is. Right. Let me double check this. I need to double check my katakana. I'm not super.
Oh, did you not add a second entrance to the hypertube thing here?
I didn't add a separate entrance. No, you can jump down. You got gravity.
I'm gonna add a second entrance.
That's fine.
It does no harm to do.
That's fine. I just couldn't be bothered, and I was like, gravity will do all the work for me. Tee. Oh, I'm translating this now. I'm curious. I think it's actually it might say a word.
Yay, gravity! Hello, Digby. Welcome.
Hi, Digby. Hi.
We are. I was gonna say we are factoring. Frankly, we haven't factoried in a while. We're training. That's what we're doing. We're training.
We're yapping. We're yapping as well. We are yapping. We haven't even trained today.
I haven't been trained today. We're like an hour in our cycle. We haven't done a single thing. Parkouring. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, accurate. Honestly. Mm.
The training for the train games. There was actually I saw some people on my Steam's friend list playing a train game. I think I mentioned this one before, Machinki or something it's called, and it looks to me that it's basically like the train part of factory games. You know, you got to put your lines out, you got to do your stations, you got to be some of the logistics part of that. And it looks like that's just like the whole game. It's a game that's just that, and that sounds kind of appealing to be honest. But it was like sort of Victorian era trains. I couldn't care less about that. It's a shame both trains derail when they collide. You could have train fights. Yeah, I agree with you there. It would be
That'd
cool.
Be funny.
It would be really simple as well. Just make it so that, like, I guess the faster train wins. You know, that'd be kind of cool. And but I guess it's in the ethos, I guess, of Satisfactory that it's a really casual game. If they made it more like Satisfactory, where you can kill yourself with the trains, where you could destroy your cargo with the trains, where you can't destroy the train itself.
So the Japanese directly translates to concept art.
Oh, that's kind of boring.
that like if you sat out, it's like concept art. That's what it is. that's actually what it says, right? It's literally just the katakana. It's trying to say concept art.
It's kind of silly, I suppose. I was hoping it would be something like soup or like fish and chips.
I mean, it is kind of funny. It's kind of funny still.
But that's what like, you know, like they just like it's like no one can read Japanese. Just put random squiggles on, like, oh, it's Japanese and something cool, but it just says nothing. Oh yeah, I've got a passenger. I really wish these things would get damaged by these things. Oh, there we go, it got caught on the tree.
Anyway, there was one thing I did want to keep up with though. So like, you know how like person D. I'm going to talk about person D.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I'm surprised you can retain that train of thought. Like the moment the topic changes, I've completely forgotten what was talked about before.
Well, I have a thing I want to say, and I want a talking stick for it. So I've been waiting. Person D, right? When I saw some of like the reviews for Monster Hunter, or some people talk about online, there was one person. For the new one, there was one person who was like, I'm going to install a mod for this that adds a health bar. Now,
I don't know enough about the game. You have to explain why that's
so. Monster Hunter is a game with 0 health bars, 0 quest markers. Like, it's a game that's about like reading your environment, right? Like, to hunt a monster, you have to track the monster. To track the monster, you have to quite literally find its tracks, right? And sniff it out, see where it goes, learn its environment, learn where it sleeps, learn where it eats, right?
I see.
You know, you have a much better time hunting monster. You do get something called the scout flies.
Monster Hunter, isn't it? So.
You do get something called the scout flies, which kind of give you like a trail to the monster, because they also sniff out the monster. But it's like, that's only after you've tracked it a bit, right? Like, they're not perfect and they're not immediate, right? And they're not optimal. So you have like that's like a backup for people who have a little bit of trouble hunting the monster. You know, I think that's fine. There's universal in-lore explanation for it. I don't care, right? But like for the most part, when you're hunting a monster, you are going to its den, finding tracks, finding like a carcass of a monster of another creature is eaten, right? You're looking for clues. There is a hunt. There is a hunt, son, right? And when you find the monster, you know, you've got to find out its weaknesses. You've got to find out its strengths. Find out what elements it's immune to. What cool, like, arena stuff can it do? What in the arena can you use to fight it? There's a monster that covers itself in mud. You grab the water moss, create water pods, and break the mud off to do more damage, right?
I see.
To weaken it. Like, it's a very environmental game that like reinforces its gameplay through it. And if you want to read how much health the monster has, you look at its movements. Is it drooling? Is it panting? Is it limping? How beat up does it look? Because as you beat up a monster and you break parts, it starts looking bruised and beaten with scars starting to appear all over it, right? So you know how much health a monster has by reading it. The point of there being no health bar is because the game tells you how much health a monster has at every single opportunity. And it's up to you as the player to learn that as part of your skill set and enjoyment of the game. And adding a health bar would take away all of that.
I see exactly what you mean. I have I can't remember what game it was. I have a very similar complaint about another game. I've forgotten what it was now.
Yeah.
Where it's sort of like, I think it was any game like open world games like Fallout or Skyrim or stuff, and where they have the compass and the sort of the waypoint marker, and
yeah.
I really dislike these because you don't look at the game world. You no longer look at the world. You no longer like. And to be fair, these games aren't designed for you to be able to navigate with the world because of the compass. But like, I think it's like it weakens the game to have this like compass and this waypoint marker and fast travel and stuff. Where
God,
I
Monster
think
Hunter's so good for that
like,
because it doesn't do that. It doesn't do that. Like if I'm looking for a monster and like even like I said, the scout flies, the in-game quote unquote gives you a sort of like. Doesn't give you like a quest marker, but it like they fly in the direction that the monster is, right? Mm-hmm. You're still looking at the flies in the world and fly around the path that you're meant to be taking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it still shows, like at most, once you've like tracked a monster enough, it'll appear on your minimap, like permanently. And I get that. That's after you've tracked it a lot, right? Like you've got to earn that. That's not something it gives you immediately, right? So, like, I get that. That's kind of useful, because you can just lose a monster, and it'd be really frustrating if you just lost it, right? On a hunt that you're meant to be doing. That would be kind of annoying, and I can get why they added that as a feature. But, like, it's it's unintrusive, and B, you can still track it. Like, you could see the direction it's flying, and because you know where its nest is, you know what direction it's probably flying in, if it's that beat up.
Mm-hmm. Another sort of kind of maybe similar is when I played RuneScape as a kid, yes. I didn't know like any. There was a world map, but I didn't know where to find it.
That's funny.
I remember for a really quite considerable amount of time, I would play the game and I would have to sort of more or less memorize the locations based on. The in-game world.
Yeah.
And that was a really like fun part of the game, I think. Where like I was looking at the real like in-game world and knowing, okay, I've got to go up here and I've got to turn left here and that's lost today. That's lost today in many games where have you ever played Maple Story? I have not played Maple Story, and I don't think I ever will, because I've heard some horror stories about Maple Story. I'll ask about those in a moment. But
I don't remember the details, I'll be honest. Well, but I've heard
I'm curious,
enough people
I don't know too much about the game.
That's fair. Okay. I like using it as your example then.
The way the sort of navigating the map is like, it was kind of like Mario. You got these like zones, and then you have to go through a portal to go to the next zone, and the game was like broken up in that sort of sense.
Yeah.
And there was like a world map, but I have no idea where it was as a kid. So for me to navigate Maple Story was really difficult. It was really challenging. And I sort of distinctly remember like I'd have to it almost as if you was navigating real life, like, okay, I've got to make a left here and then go through here and then up here and that was really fun. That's like there's a gameplay element to that.
There is.
Games don't have that, and like like I mentioned Fallout because in Fallout 4 the game was really beautiful, you know, and if you turn off the heads-up display, you get to see that world. You get to actually like look at it. Whereas when you have all the heads-up display, you never look at the actual world.
But like, if you turn off the heads-up display,
you can't navigate.
How the fuck are you playing the game? Like the game does very little to teach you, to give you what you need to play the game.
Like your stealth is not really functioning without the hidden alerted type thing.
Yeah.
But I like
in Monster Hunter. In Monster Hunter, in Monster Hunter, when you're stealthing, right? When you are stealthing, like if you go into like a brush and crouch to stealth, right? It's simple stealth mechanics, as you're not usually stealthing anyway. It's not really a big part of like the fights, but you can stealth if you want to avoid a monster, right? Like say you're hunting something else and you want to avoid like a different one. Yeah. If you go into it, right? What happens is first off you get like a little bit of a music change that your like stealth music is like, you know, it's like, oh, you're stealthing. Your vision goes darker because you're inside like bushes, you know? Right? So you can't see as much. Well, on top of that, monsters nearby you will sniff around. If they originally knew where you were and you suddenly hide, they, instead of just suddenly being like, where did he go? They'll sniff around a bit. They'll have a look around for you. Like, they'll act like an animal that's lost you and is hunting you. And then when they give up, they leave. They leave the area when they can't find you. And if they find you, you have to keep fighting them. But it's like, there's no hidden or not hidden like bar that like happens or anything. It's purely like you could turn off all the UI for Monster Hunter when it comes to like, you know, when it comes to the monster stuff. Not your health bar. You shouldn't turn off your health bar. I think that's like probably best you don't turn that off, right?
Also, forgive me, Digby. I have been seeing your messages. I'm a bad streamer.
I'm sorry. I am also like mid-yap. Sorry, Digby. Just ride the mouse. I have been seeing. Navigate the monster. See, okay. Wait, no, they added the fucking. I'm killing myself. They added like a mount that just rides to the monster. That's so stupid. Okay. People complained about the chases in like Worlds, and I can get like some of them were a bit tedious, but the fucking chase for the monster was unironically some of the most unironically hype. Right? It got you ready. You were like, I'm closing in on a target. I'm the one hunting my prey. You know, that's what it was. It was all about that. And they've ruined it. Oh, I hate this. What the fuck? I'm so mad. I'm actually mad. It's actually getting me like to mold a little. I'm gonna be real.
Speaking of molding, this bloody monster's stopping me from building because it's in the way.
That's fair. I'm clearing the swamp right now. Actually clearing the swamp, making an entire rail line through the swamp.
I'm almost at the swamp myself with the other end of the railroad.
Ah, but yeah, it was. They're not immediate for story missions. Actually, the scout flies on story missions take a little while. Like you do have to bare minimum and find some of the tracks, right? The scout flies will not just show you where to go. Like they are conditional in story missions because I've been replaying Monster Hunter Worlds from like a new save profile just because I want to play. I want to play the game, man. I want to play the game. I want to hunt monsters. Everyone else is hunting monsters. And I want to hunt monsters. And the scout flies are they are not automatic. They do a little bit. You have to put them a little bit.
There you go. Oh, there was another sort of topic I wanted to mention.
Oh.
Have you watched or read Devilman?
No.
Oh darn it! I've gotten into Devilman very recently, and I think it's
good.
Maybe. it's from the 70s. It's by Go Nagai.
The focus is less on the hunt and now on the actual fight. But it's called Hunter! It's in the name! It's like when you take the mining out of Minecraft or the factory out of Satisfactory. What the fuck? I hate this.
Kind of wish they'd take the combat out of Satisfactory.
I've heard that like the fights are good at least, which is good. I'm glad the fights are good, right? I think it will simplify a lot of the things. I'm seeing monster icons on the map. Yeah, like there are monster icons in Worlds, but you have to like unlock them. You have to learn how to track the monster. So then your character and you as a player getting like an intuitive sense of knowledge about where the monster usually is and where it could be and where it is at the time, you know. And it feels very natural. Like when I was hunting Odegaron, right? It's one of the monsters in like the Rotten Vale. I already knew where its nest was. But like I didn't know where else it went. I forgot where else it had gone. But like what else was its usual stomping grounds. So like as I unlocked where it could be, I found tracks in places I didn't expect. I was like, oh, it can go here. And like it felt like a very natural game, and I can't believe they're ruining it. I'm so mad. I'm so fucking mad, bro. Hate this. Why'd they streamline it? They should be streamlining it too much. I can understand some of the streamlining from the old games, because there was a lot of tedious grinding, there was a lot of like tedium, and I can get that, right? But like the hunting mechanics in Monster Hunter in Worlds were like A, straight up part of the fucking name. It's like kind of the point of the game, right? And B, they felt at least like fun. It was like a build up to the fight, right? Now you can't do
distracted
that.
by the combat. Nearly so bad. I'm so bad at the combat in these games. Actually atrocious.
That's fine. I'm pretty good. I'll make up for both of us. Don't worry. Yeah, the build-up is gone. That fucking sucks. Because, like, that's the one thing I really liked about Worlds. Because Worlds was, like... Because, like, Rise and the older generation games had less of that build-up, right? And one thing I liked about Worlds was the hunting part. And the fact that they've removed that is kind of annoying. Like, I know I'm, like, a bit of a new head for saying that. Like, old Monster Hunter fans would be like, nuh-uh. The old arenas were fine. Which I'm like, sure, kinda, yeah, I get it, but like, on the other hand, nuh-uh. Nuh-uh, I liked tracking the monster, I like to feel like a hunter. I agree it sucks, the mount is far too fast for there to be any build-up, then the mount automatically takes you to where you go. See, like, you're not even running in the direction of the monster, you could just sit there and AFK. Like, that's like the worst bit, it's like, you don't even have the agency of running to it. I guess you could, like, force yourself to not use the mount, right? But then you come into a different issue where you're basically just LARPing, right?
Yeah, attacked by something. I think it's another...
Like, there is an issue in, I'm going to change the game topic here for a second to make a point.
On.
There is a game called PlanetSide 2, right? It's quite a popular game. It's quite an old game. It's got a very dedicated fan base, right? And it has a group of people. Like, there are dedicated people on that game who have played it enough, right? It's this massive, like, 64 versus 64 FPS game, right? Huge, like, old Battlefront style, like, massive team battles type thing, right? And it was fun. PlanetSide 2, very, very fun game. Unfortunately, right, the instant redeploy system was a mechanic of the game that made it way too fast to, like, play the game, and sort of ruined a lot of the things for it, because there's no reason to use transport vehicles. So there's a select group of people in the game who don't use transport vehicles anymore. Like, no, who don't use the... they don't use the fast travel anymore.
I was trying to listen, but I got, like, attacked by, like, 3 spiders.
That's fair. I fucked up what I was saying. The idea of the mount, I feel, is that it lets you chase the monster down while doing stuff like eating or sharpening a weapon. Okay, but you can eat, like, food in-game while running, right? You can eat, like, rations. That's possible. But, like, sharpening your weapon should take some time. You should have to sit down and do that.
You ever done sharpening in real life?
No.
It's, I don't want to say it's fun. It's kind of fun, I guess, but, good,
I've heard
it's
it's therapeutic.
Maybe.
I think that's the word you're looking for, right, son?
I'm getting hit by radiation, but I don't know if it's a rock or if it's an enemy.
Let's see. How do I extract fluid from this? Is that a water extractor? No. How do I extract, like, stuff from the geysers?
Geysers? Oh, you need a, I forget the name of the machine. We can't unlock it yet.
I see. Okay. All right.
Right there. Ah, okay. That's probably the radioactive
thing. I don't like the mounts. I don't like the mounts in Rise that much because they felt like they felt like okay, I guess. But like Rise, I have issues with just because it's like it doesn't feel as fun. But like I get Rise is good. But like Wild's being like, no, we're not hunting monsters anymore. You're just fighting them. It's like reduce the downtime in fights, which is fine. But like, goddamn.
Ah, yes, I was right there. Radiation. It was an enemy I killed and the radiation went away.
Ah, I see.
Wait, hang on. Is that radioactive or is that sulfur?
I'm killing more stuff in the swamp is nearly empty, by the way. I've nearly finished the swamp. I'm over halfway. I'm over halfway done.
That's funny. it's like both of us just independently came to the conclusion that the swamp should just be rendered empty.
Sterile. My wacky sword and shield shenanigans are over. Yeah, what the fuck? Like, they gotta stop nerfing sword and shield, right? Straight up. Most punished weapon in Monster Hunter. I remember in Sword and Shield back in Worlds before Iceborne, when Sword and Shield was the only weapon you could use your sling with, right? You could use your slingshot with. And then you can't even use the sling anymore. What the fuck? The slinger is such a cool weapon. What about, is the clutch claw in the game? Do they have the clutch claw? I love the clutch claw. Clutch claw, my beloved. I love being able to do cool and creative attacks with the clutch claw and using my environment to my advantage by making the monster charge into a wall and bash his head, right?
Where am I going with this?
Oh, you have the slinger, you just can't use it when Sword and Shield out? Okay, so you have to put your weapon away to use the slinger. Clutch claw is gone. No, that's fine, I expected that. I expected it to be gone. I'm still gonna miss it though. The clutch claw was actually Kino. That was like a really good mechanic as well. I love the clutch claw. I know it was controversial because like a lot of people were like, it makes some of the fights too easy, and then Iceborne was difficult, and they were like, okay, maybe it doesn't. But like, damn, like Sling being gone from Sword and Shield is fucked because that's like its main thing. Does Sword and Shield get anything to compensate for it? Because I've heard Horn is good, is like the best it's been in any game. And as a Horn player, I'm a hunting Horn player. Right, so like I use the funky instrument that bashes people in the head. It's really good, really fun. It buffs my teammates, so no one complains at me. Main gimmicks of Wild outside the mounts, there seems to be wounds essentially do damage to a monster, and a wound appears which you can then do a special attack for extra parts and damage. They added a big glowing weakness to the monsters.
God, that's terrifying.
What the fuck, man? Like, I get monsters had weak points, like, you know, Nogagante's head is not weak because he has those massive horns, but like, some other monsters have got these weak points because, you know, they haven't got much armor there. Like, I got that, it was like a more diegetic form of weak points, but now it's like actual weak points. What the fuck, bro? Bruh. Yeah, big glowy weaknesses, but it has to be made. When you exploit it, it's gone. Okay. At least it's, like, dynamic, but fucking still, man. That's, like...
Jump scared by spiders.
Like, that's like level 2, like, Zelda boss tier shit, right? Oh, you have to weaken the monster and put it in a position where it, like, has its weak point exposed, and then you do your damage.
I know it's, like, basic game mechanics, so I hate that so much. The weak point.
Like, Monster Hunter had weak points on its monsters. For example, if you cut off a Rathian's tail, it couldn't use its, like, poison anymore, right? Well, a Rathlos. If you cut off a Rathlos' tail, it couldn't use its poison anymore. Or there's gonna be a lot of tail cutting in this example. Or if you cut off the tail of a Pookie, it couldn't use its poison anymore. Or if you bashed open wounds don't influence its behavior much. Okay, that's good. That's at least good, yeah. But like if you broke the armor on a Raudaban, it would have less damage. Or if you broke the horns on the on a Diablos, you could both A, it will do less damage to you, but also B, you could hit it in the head for even more damage, right? If you broke its horns. Like, there's lots of like it already had like the diegetic, you broke its like a point to make it weaker, right? And then maybe created a weak point by doing that. So explosive wounds can be difficult depending on where they are. The monster part breaking is still a thing. Okay, so monster part breaking was good. I liked monster part breaking. It felt like a very it felt like a mechanic that makes sense. Like, yeah, if I break Nogagante's horns or his spines, he's gonna do less damage and be less of a hassle, right? If I break the Palumu's wings, it's not gonna fly super fast. If I break what other examples are there? If I break I can't think of another example. Shit. If I break the Baroth's scalp, it's gonna do less damage, and I get free stuff, right? I'm a sneeze. Uh-oh. I knew I was gonna sneeze.
What
Yeah,
else?
it's
What
like
else has been going on in the world?
Monster Hunter's consuming to me. I'm sorry.
It's alright.
I've been consumed by like a franchise I enjoy, having things changed.
It does look fun. I've seen game. I think like
It does look fun.
If I was good
I
at it, I'd
want to
probably
play
enjoy
it, and everyone else is playing it, and I want to play it with people, but I can't.
He's stuck here. He's playing Factory with me.
I can't run it. Well, I can't run the game like flat out.
I see.
That's why I can't play it, because it's got like, so like I think you're aware of like the graphics slop of this day and age, Mr. Sun. I think you're aware of graphics slop.
There was a funny like meme where someone posted a picture of like, it was like an air conditioning unit, a 3D model of like an air conditioning unit in a game that had something like 500,000 polygons or something.
It's insane what they're doing these days.
Like it had like fully animated, like all the individual blades and stuff. It was completely over the top for
like
complete nonsense.
Do you want to know how they're like? Okay, so you're like wondering, how do they run that? Well, they're running the way they're running those games is through something called DLSS, and like DLSS is the main reason, and frame generation, right? Where like an AI in your graphics card, an AI that's in your graphics card's hardware is like generating the frames, right?
It's kind of lame.
It is lame. Do you want to know what's even worse? Despite my graphics card being probably powerful enough to run games on low, right?
Mm-hmm.
I died. A big issue is that I can't run Monster Hunter Wilds because on its lowest setting, it's still relying on that DLSS. And my graphics card is so old, it doesn't run DLSS.
That's terrible.
It is terrible. You are entirely correct on this being terrible.
It's like it's like I was watching a video of like some guy doing stuff with like coding Fibonacci number stuff, and it's like computers are ludicrously fast. You know, like it can compute like the 100 millionth like Fibonacci number like instantly, but you know, like to load up like a web page, it just like takes like an eternity.
Yeah.
It's
and I'm
terrible.
so sick of the graphics slop being like put into video games. I'm so sick of it. It's tiresome. I have to upgrade my whole PC just to run things now.
At least in the indie game scene, there's been this like growing trend for what do you call it? Like PS2 era graphics, or PS1 era graphics even. And I think it's really cool. Like we've even seen it in VTube, you know, people getting like the low poly models, and it's such a like I don't know. I don't even think it's just nostalgia. I think like it just looks cool.
Yeah, I'm looking at new graphics card myself. I'm probably gonna get the new Radeon that came out, the 7090. That's the one I'm gonna get. Because it's like yeah, I need a new one, and that one's in my budget like after like a few months, and it's like it'll run my stuff very well. I'm like, sure, I'll get it. Son, where are our trains meeting?
Round about where I am. I'm like at the entrance to the swamp on my end.
See, I'm stuck with NVIDIA. I gotta wait for NVIDIA just to unfuck the 5000 series. No, you're not stuck with NVIDIA, Digby. You can get out of NVIDIA. You don't need NVIDIA. You can just uninstall your graphics drivers and get a new and just change over your graphics card. You can do that. That's what I'm gonna do. Tee-hee. The NVIDIA don't want you to know this, but you can just uninstall their graphics drivers and change to a different brand. It's very funny. NVIDIA don't like you knowing that because it means you can go to a competitor, but I'm going to go to a competitor. Fuck that. I do 3D modeling animation. I'm stuck with NVIDIA. Oh shit. Okay, maybe you are. Fuck. Yeah, you are fucked. Never mind. Digby stuck. Like, I have to upgrade my CPU anyway because I'm on an old CPU as well. Like, I'm on like a very old CPU. I'm on a Ryzen 1700, right? Which is like ancient CPU, old ass CPU, right? Yeah, I'm at the point where I basically get a whole new computer time. Damn. I mean, yeah, I'm replacing CPU and GPU, but everything else can stay the same. Like, I can live with the other parts. Like, my storage is fine, my power supply is fine, my cooler is fine, my motherboard is fine. I just need those two parts changed. It's like, what, 500-ish? And I don't want to, like, wait longer, because I'm against the clock here. because the 1700 can't update to Windows 11.
For me, like, I feel like
And-
with like, there's good games coming out, but there's also like there's so many bad games coming out, and there are so many old games that I haven't played that are probably pretty good. And like, you know, part of me is like, I just gotta like reject the modern world.
Digby has said something in chat, and he's responding kind. No, I am not using Linux. As someone who's actually, I used to use Linux for like my computing class. I don't want to go back to it. I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back.
He's not Linux pilled?
I don't want to go back. I am not Linux pilled. I actually don't like Linux that much. I hate just having to like do extra work with my PC. I don't like it. I think it's unfun. It's lame. It takes up my time, and there's just so many.
It depends on like whether like I think for some people, like doing the trouble with the computer, like that's the fun for them. You know.
Well, it's the fun for them. They also appreciate the ability to just like sort of have like a lot of control over their computer, and I can get that. Because Windows is very limiting, but I don't care. I don't care. I care that, like, my PC runs, and it's easier. Basically, I'll use Linux until Gaben releases SteamOS for PC. Unlikely then, even, because, like I said, I just can't be bothered to move.
It depends, like, however, like, I will say Windows is just, it's, like, it's aggressively getting worse.
It is,
like,
agreed.
It feels like I'm, like, playing, like, a toy.
I mean, Windows 12 might be good, though. That's the thing. Windows 12 might be good.
Windows 12. My computer's not even eligible for Windows 11.
Damn.
And, like, you just know, like, Microsoft's gonna, like, aggressively
I know I can.
stop you from
I know
it.
I can stop using. I know I can stop using Windows, but I genuinely prefer it to Linux. Like, Linux, like, with Windows, at least I can be mad at Microsoft as well when something goes wrong. And I can look up, like, oh, here's a bajillion errors, right? You know, oh, people have had these errors before. Oh, look, here's my solution. And I hard look up the error, right? With Linux, I don't have that. It's so much harder to, like, troubleshoot on Linux. Unironically. Because there's just less people using it, so there's less, like, specific situation errors, right? And I'm lazy. I don't have to go through work to use my computer.
I think like cars are a similar thing. It's like there are people who enjoy doing maintenance on their cars, and then there are people who don't enjoy that. You know, and I
don't enjoy doing that.
And then they either like get a car that's like, I don't know, more reliable, or like they just like go to the mechanic or whatever. But like some people, like they deliberately will buy a car which is that they can fiddle with. Because they enjoy that. And I think that's like the thing of it. Alright, I've entered the swamp. My train line's in the swamp. I've got a marker on the minimap which is called new marker of like basically where that is. Let me see where the closest rail line is. And we'll probably have multiple lines going out of the going out of the swamp because there's two main lines that go in, but that's the one where
unfortunately Microsoft seemed to be unable to keep its old pattern of shit release followed by good release followed by shit. Windows 10 is not terrible. Windows 10 is fine. It's alright. It's not a shit release. I would say Windows 10 is like alright. So like, Windows 11 is going to be shit. Unfortunately, they are removing support for Windows 10 before after Windows 11 comes out, and that's the issue. Hi, son.
Hello. Where's my novelist's gone? Oh, they are. You do know, like, at this point in the game, like, our ability to kill monsters is severely... Hang on.
You got me with that. Got them.
That was an accident. How much health do you have?
Very little.
Okay, I guess I can't use novelisks for a while.
I'm back. It's fine, I just healed up.
Oh, okay, well,
you need to make guns? We could make guns, but bomb
there are two things we don't have. With the gun, 200 megawatts. We can do this. Hold on.
Yeah. I mean, I have an infinite supply of bomb. I'm fine.
Oh, you got it. Okay.
Yoink.
You can get both the gun, which is like better than the rifle thing, better than the what do you call it, like the bolt gun, like the staple gun.
Yeah.
And then you can also get or like the staple gun thing, you can get explosive rounds for it, which basically are Novelisks spit out of it, which is they're much better than Novelisks because they explode on impact.
I see. Well, I mean, the Nobelisks have been fine so far.
They have. We've been like doing it, but it's all like at some point, like when we do get back to around to building factions, it's all we probably should do.
That's true. Yeah, no, it's like I don't want to. I've tried Linux. I have honestly tried Linux. I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back.
What I want to do is I want to get a like a laptop, like some cheap laptop, and install Linux on it just to experiment with Linux.
See. Okay, Linux is great for laptops. As like for a low spec sort of like goofing around laptop, it's great. But I don't want to like just for like my main driver on my main PC that I do my VTubing stuff on. I don't want to go through like the hassle. I don't want to do it.
I refuse. Like for me, like it would be what I would use the computer for would be completely different. It would be like I would use it like practically as a word processor. Like I'm not going to play games and I'm not going to do any crazy modern stuff on it. Like it would be very bare bones because that's what Linux is probably good for. You know, like it's
Linux is great for that, right? But like.
You know, it's like a console. If you want to play video games, you get a games console, and that's basically what a Windows is good for. You know, it's
Windows is more than just a games console, at least, right? It does other things.
Yeah, it crashes as well.
Oh well, mine hasn't crashed in a while actually. My PC hasn't crashed in a long ass time.
Right, so where's your train line? Where is it?
It's literally here.
Where are you? I can't see a train line. Oh, I see it.
I'm standing on it. What the hell? He hates my train line.
I found it. It's hard to see anything in this one. But let's see. I think we should. You're turning here. Yeah, I see. If you were to continue off in like that south direction that you were going, that would be another route out of the swamp. So at some point here, you'd want an intersection, probably around here.
I'll make an intersection here then. Why not?
And if you like, I'll bring my thing along. I'll bring my rail along.
I'm gonna make it here. Fuck it.
I think I just missed fused module frames.
Yeah, like I'm of the opinion that like I get that Linux is good. I'm not gonna argue that it's not good. I'm just gonna say like I don't want to use it, and I think that's fine. I think it's fine that I don't want to use Linux. I shouldn't have to use Linux. That's the entire point of Linux.
So much crap in my inventory. Yeah, I think it's like you know today you know people want a computer and they have this expectation that a computer is going to be used for like playing games and watching videos and all these like things that a computer does these days. Whereas in the past, a computer was like you know you go back to like the 90s or something. Like a computer was much more basic, and in a lot of ways, I think you know, if you're going to get Linux, you kind of got to stay in that sort of zone. Just like it does that well, you know, and it's all that's probably like the kinds of people who are making Linux and who are using Linux. Like they're not playing the video games. They're not like you know they're using it for those like older fashioned type reasons.
Well, they're not using it for old-fashioned type reasons, but they are not using it for like what I want to use a computer for. Like, I mean, you can game on a Linux computer. It's like it is possible, yes.
It's like imagine you get like a TV. Like these days when people get TVs, they want like to be able to record stuff. They want to be able to like have like schedules and it's like all this smart TV and stuff. Imagine if, like you go and buy like an old TV. It's like it doesn't like have these things, and you say, oh, well, it can't do all these things. It's like. You know, it's like it's things like that kind of like older approach to sort of TVs and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, it's like you know if you can like accept that, then it's all cool.
Yeah, so like you know I don't see the use of Linux. So I'm just like it's just not what I want to be using Linux for is the big issue.
Like the majority of the complaints I see about Linux are that they have trouble playing video games on it. It's like get a Windows computer, not because you're capitulating to Windows, but by seeing it as like it's a games console. You know, it's like you know back in the day, like you know you wanted to play a game, you know, you go buy a Game Boy. You know.
Yeah, that's kind of what it is. It's like. I get on the one hand that like Linux gives you a lot of freedom as like a person as like a computer user, and I understand like you know it's good in like a lot of contexts, and a lot of contexts, not just a few contexts, like a lot of contexts. But like on the other hand, I want to play video games in VTube, and Linux is bad for that. It just doesn't work as well, and I can't, in good faith, use Linux because of that. You know, I wouldn't be using it like I wouldn't be using Linux. I'd be using like I'd definitely have like a Windows dual boot system anyway, right?
All right, let's see how close we're getting now. Let's see, so
especially with how some anti-cheats work, right? If a Windows only game has like any form of anti-cheat, you cannot play it on Linux. You just can't.
I've heard that.
Like, well, you can if you install like 20 mods for your Linux, but at that point it's like, I've gone through enough hassle, I might as well just play on like Windows. Right?
And it's like, it's not just gaming, there's like a lot of like things like, if you want to be an artist, you want to have your Photoshop and stuff, Linux is not the way. Like, that people will, you know, they'll give their praises to the sort of like, the GIMP and these sort of like, free versions of software.
Free open source software, and they are good. They are good software.
But like, you know, you're it's much harder to use than the things like Photoshop and stuff that work on Windows and Mac and stuff. It's like, if you want to be an artist, just give up. Don't bother with the list. Go buy an art machine that has Windows on it and Photoshop. Or
even like, even for art, if you're doing art, you could even argue that like, hey, you could use Mac. You can get away with that because Mac is good for art.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's like one. Also, did we just connect the lineup with like? Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
It was like no fanfare or anything. Like the product of like 8 hours of work is like finally completed.
Well, I had to move a pylon. That's why.
Yeah, like we just like completely like ignored it. Like we did the. Have you watched the documentary about the creation of the channel tunnel? Like we just like completed the channel tunnel. It's like no mention about it. Hang on a minute.
Damn.
Oh, never mind. Sorry, I thought this was.
Yeah, like. It's like if you're using a PC, right? What I use a PC for is not something that Linux is the best for. Unfortunately,
you haven't finished this intersection. There's one missing, I think.
Which one? No,
you got two coming off here, but there's only one coming off.
Oh yeah, let me fix that.
I'll let you do that. When I do my intersections, I like to as the approach of the intersection, like I get everything at like the same level, or like at least like in an organized way, so I don't get this kind of shape here. I mean, I'm not criticizing you can do what you like. But
I would, but I'm lazy right now. I'm done with that part of the train lines. The game is what beat me there, and I'm not gonna bother fighting it.
It doesn't matter. Right,
yeah, like for Linux, it's like I understand the benefits of Linux, and I think Linux is not like a bad operating system by any means, but it's just not. I don't like it. I don't like using it.
It has its place.
It doesn't. I don't like using it. Right?
Hang on a minute.
Tacky.
Hold on. Does this lead anywhere? Because I know.
Yeah,
I think
you
it's
got the cliff.
The cliff? You mean the waterfall?
No, the cliff.
Cliff? Where are you taking this?
We throw a bomb and it'll explode, and you'll know what cliff I'm talking about.
Let's see if there's a train line. Oh, I can see. Oh, I can see you've already got like some foundations down here.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, you've got a plan. I thought you were just sort of like going.
Well,
down
those foundations are more just there for use. But what I'm actually gonna do is there's like a point over there. You see where that like where are you, son? Where are you? Get over here.
Oh, I'm picking. I'm berry picking.
Approach.
Where have you gone? You're over here.
Approach. Anyway, so you see that point over that way.
Am I looking left or right? Oh, I think I see where you're pointing.
Yeah, that point there. That's where the train's gonna go up. Yeah, it's gonna go up there.
You have to, you're just gonna
it's
go
up
it.
I'm gonna probably do it a different way.
Yeah, I guess this is
sort
of another way of getting around. Yeah, that's what it works fine.
So like as like a gaming and streaming machine, I don't want to use like Linux is like is the wrong choice, right? Like it is by definition the wrong choice if you want to get a machine that you're going to be doing mostly that stuff on, right?
Mm-hmm. You know, but it's like if you in like people like they enjoy the computer like as a hobby, you know, like think of people like El Kalong, you know, like
that's also true.
Like for him, like there's just no fun in using Windows, you know. Like
he's also just more versed in Linux as well. That's the thing. Like he has like experience, so like for him using Linux is second nature. For me, I'd have to relearn everything I've already learned about it, and then change it for like the exact distro I'm using, and I don't want to do that. That's a lot of effort and a lot of work, and I'm like, can I just not?
But it's
can I just not do that?
Brain's facing the wrong way. But it's
Yeah,
also
well-
like you ask like, you know, if you were to like ask him like, well, what do you you know, what do you look for in an operating system? The things he's gonna list are like, you know, like very computer related things, because that's what he's into, you know, like he wants he wants to be, because that's like basically his hobby, you know. And most people that are like not computer people, you know, when they say, you know, they want to be able to play Steam, they want to be able to have their video card work properly, you know, like
Yeah, that is what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for as like a computer, as like a PC user, right? And so for me,
in a
like
sense,
Linux,
like in a sense, what they're like saying they want is basically like a games console. You know, they want, you know, like a games console is a computer. You know, like, and it's
Well,
got like it's geared
I-
towards playing video games. It's got everything set
To be
up
fair,
for that.
I am using it for more than just video games, of course. You know, there's a reason I have OBS installed, son.
Yeah. Well, that too, doing the whole streaming thing, and streaming's fairly lightweight. Like, it's not too. A lot of people do stream from Linux and stuff. It's like, it's not the.
That's true. You can do it from Linux. It's just like it
easier
would take a
on Windows.
lot more work for the same kind of results. I would not gain much from switching to Linux. if
Whereas
that makes
with
sense.
gaming, it's like people generally sort of agree. It's like, don't even like why bother? Why bother?
No, you can game on Linux. You can game on Linux. I'm not gonna like completely lie and be like, but you can't just do it. It's just like, it's just the work you have to put into playing video games on Linux is quite a bit more, and I would not be gaining much benefit. Like, to me, it's a cost reward analysis, right? That's what I'm doing. And to me, it makes sense to make this machine that I play video games on and stream from a Windows machine. And that's what it comes down to. Like, sure, I can install like there's probably like a Linux for OBS. There's like a Linux OBS, right? And there's like a bunch of tools I could get that would make it possible to stream on Linux and do all my VTubing stuff on Linux. You know, I could do that, right? But there's just like, I'd have to go out and do that research myself. I would have to go out and do that. Like, a lot of like more research than it takes to like, how do I VTube on Windows? Like, oh, on Windows, I download VTube Studio and you're done, right? That's it. That's what you do. And once you've done that, you don't need to worry about it. But on Linux, there's a bit more you have to do. There's more steps. And I'm not going to gain enough from doing those steps to make it worth doing them.
Steppy steps.
Yeah.
There you go. I'm glad I'm out of the swamp now. Like, I've gone to like a completely different like area of the map now. It's like it's day and night in terms of like the monsters.
I'm still in the swamp. I'm still doing swamp stuff.
Did you did rebuild that power line, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because I think that might be like one of like the only power lines connecting from like one end of the map to the other or something.
No, I doubled up on them.
Oh, you doubled up on them? Oh, fair enough.
I think so. I don't know. We can loop them around or something if we need to.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my opinion on Linux. I respect it as an operating system, but for me, no. Just no. Just no. Just no. There's a Tom Scott clip where someone he's like
Tom
doing
Scott.
Tom Scott. I miss him. No, he's not my Oshi, but I'm a big fan of him, right? I am here in a Discord memes channel.
Have you seen the meme of like Tom Scott like vapes and then disappears?
Coughs, yeah, he like coughs and disappears. That's a really good one.
I love it. It's so good.
But like he did a video where he was like experimenting with like keyboards and such, right? Like computer keyboards.
Oh, it's supposed to be like
and
an
he
old
like
video.
it was kind of old. He was like trying to get it to all do a certain thing. Right, he was like, Windows is very difficult for this. And he was like, and I know you're in the comments gonna be like, why not just use Linux? He was just like, no, I have fun doing this. Like, he has fun messing around with Windows, right? And that's fair.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's also like a tiny like amount of people who are like they're like computer wizards, but they also like Windows. Like it's very bizarre. You know?
Yeah, me. That's me. You're talking about me.
You know, no, I mean they really like the quirks of Windows.
I don't know about the quirks.
Like-
I just like it because it's convenient.
Like it's
And
like
I like
they know
convenience.
how they've learned how to navigate the nightmare of the bloat.
Oh, that's easy. That's easy. That's the easiest shit I ever done. God damn, like the bloat,
Alright,
like
Mr.
navigating
Tech
is
Wizard.
not difficult.
Oh yeah, can you uninstall Cortana though? Yeah, checkmate.
Cortana's kind of just not used anymore, to be fair. Like
Okay,
Cortana's
well,
gone. They've uninstalled it. It's
Microsoft
gone already.
Edge. Can you
But you
uninstall
can.
like I can't like it's,
You
it's
can
terrible.
uninstall Edge, but you probably shouldn't. It uses it for some stuff.
I don't use the Edge
It's-
for
it's-
anything.
It's never open anyway, and it never takes up resources, so I don't give a shit. It's like what? Oh no, I lost like 40 megabytes of my massive storage. Oh no, I don't care. I don't care.
That is like
I don't care.
It's just the fact that it exists at all. That's the issue.
Well, Edge is a default browser. It's there for a reason.
Yeah, but
so you
it's sort
can
of like
install Chrome.
why are they so like aggressive with it? I mean, I guess maybe it's like if it's like the only browser you've got and you uninstall it, like how do you get another browser or something? But like
Well, yeah, you need it. You need it installed. It's installed for functionality purposes. I know you can use command lines to download Chrome and shit.
no one's doing that.
I don't want to. I don't want to do that. I don't.
Yeah,
wanna
but
do
it's
that.
just it's
I don't
the,
wanna do that.
the
I'm lazy.
toyification of like the operating system, you know. Like you know, I hate that I go to like my task manager and I see like I'm spending God knows how much power on Xbox services. Like I don't even own an Xbox, man.
You know, you can. I just disabled it.
Yeah, but it just like it comes back and there's like 3 of them and it's just
Nuh-uh,
what is this
nuh-uh.
junk? There's so much
gone
junk. There's
forever.
so much junk
It's
on Windows.
gone. It's gone forever. You can just tell it no, and it'll go okay.
You know, you have to have like a Microsoft account to like play Minecraft or something. It's like I just want to play
Okay,
a game,
okay.
man.
To be fair, because the reason you need a Microsoft account to play Minecraft is because they own Minecraft.
Yeah,
right? You
that
needed
sucks.
you
I hate
needed
that.
a Mojang account to play it originally, right? Like you still needed an account. It's just the account you need now is different. Like in Microsoft defense, they're not the first to do that. They are not the last to do that, right?
You know, look when I go and play Sonic
And
Adventure
you
2
can, like-
on my GameCube. It
Yeah.
doesn't ask me for a Sega account or whatever nonsense.
Well, that's because you're not playing online. Like Minecraft has
Yeah,
like an
yeah,
online
it-
functionality.
yeah, but like, what if I don't care about the online functionality?
You don't have to sign in. You can just play as like you can just make worlds and play in them.
It's still like it still asks me for like a Microsoft account. I had to like go and get like a cheat client or whatever to like play it normally, and I own the game.
What do you mean what do you need to play? No, you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. You can just play it
Sucks.
offline. I
hate
played it
Minecraft.
offline multiple
Minecraft
times.
sucks. Mojang sucks, or whoever. I don't know. Anyway.
You can still play it offline, son. That's still possible.
Yeah, but it's more difficult than it should be.
It's a little difficult. I will agree, but it's not that difficult.
It's like it just
I know.
shouldn't exist as a difficulty at all. Like completely.
The
at
reason
all.
why is because they want to make sure you own the game before you play it.
That's
which
it's-
makes
that's not their
sense.
business. Well, I mean, okay, it's literally their business, but like
It is literally their business. They actually like that's kind of something that like it is reasonable for them to care about. I don't know.
I don't know. It's just ass. It's ass. I hate it. I need to get a cabin. I need to get a cabin. That's what I need.
It's like it's very much a it's like I can understand the frustration, but like to be fair, they are well within like their right and interest and like reasonability to be like, hey,
What about my
you look-
interests?
your interest is playing Minecraft, so like you gotta meet on common ground
crap.
here.
Got to renew my obelisks. I ran out.
He's renewing his. It's like I get it. I get that like it can be frustrating to log into an account to like prove purchase, but because because like purchasing Minecraft is an online process and it always has been even before Microsoft, right? Like I will today I will remind them that Mojang existed and was like a company before Microsoft, right? Like, it is not unreasonable to like for Microsoft to be like, hey, could you like log in to prove you own the game that you're trying to play? Because you can't buy like a physical disc. That's the thing, right?
Hey, Jelkaran, what
Yes.
what old animes do you like?
I don't watch that much old anime.
You don't? What's like? Come on,
No,
what's the
I don't.
oldest like anime you've like enjoyed?
Probably Evangelion.
Ah, that's not old at all.
Yeah,
Dang.
there's your answer. There's your answer. I guess maybe Trigun, but that's even newer.
I guess so. I guess so.
Yeah, you're
I
not gonna get much out of me for old
do.
anime. I'm a new anime enjoyer. I like to Dandadan. Dandadan is like a really good
I've
one.
never heard of that. What's that about?
Dandadan is very new anime.
Oh, it's new.
It's
I see.
it's about a boy and a girl who fight spirits.
That does sound kind of like new vibes.
They fight like old yokai and such.
Oh,
right?
wait, so what am I saying? That
And-
doesn't sound like new vibes at all. That's like a very classic thing.
Yeah, it's very classic. But like what happened is like the boy got like cursed by like an evil spirit and lost his balls, right? So he's got to get them back, and that's literally the plot.
That's hilarious.
That's like literally the plot.
kind of funny.
It is kind of funny, but it's actually pretty good, and the animation's like fucking nice. Like,
We
ooh,
love Sasuga here.
I love some good animation. I'm a big fan of some good animation. It's like it does like some dynamic animation as well. It's like pretty. It's like it's not like static. It's very like it uses perspective a lot.
Oh, that's advanced. Is it like 3D?
No, it's not 3D. It's 2D.
That's impressive.
Yeah, you should watch it. You should watch it. I think you'd like it. I think you look at it. It's like it's kind of like a rough art style, and if that makes sense. Like it's not like super detailed, but what they lack in detail, they make up for in like perspective and dynamic shots and movement. Like it uses the platform of animation to animate, right?
It's always nice
Like a
how
reverse.
it's oh crap.
Yeah, it's like
platform's
it's
so
like a
long.
reverse of Guts in that way, where Guts is like super well like detailed and like very scenic, and like every panel is like its own image, right? Its own like piece of art. Well, Dandadan's kind of like it's kind of rough, it's kind of wibbly wobbly, it's kind of all over the place, but like, damn, does it look good in the anime? Ooh, it looks so good.
It's always really hard to make that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like you see there were two animes I was thinking of. One is Beastars and the other is Chainsaw Man, and both of them have like this really sketchy art style, which looks really great in manga, but it's so difficult to adapt to anime. Very
I
challenging.
see. Yeah, Dandadan was kind of the opposite, where it had like a very like sort of just lines art style, like not super sketchy. It was very like it was cartoonish. Right? And it translated that well. It's very nice. You should. I think you should watch it. It's only got like half a season out right now. The rest of the season's releasing soon, very soon.
Oh,
like,
that
within the next few
that
months.
reminds me. That was why I was actually why I wanted to mention Devilman earlier. It was anime from the 70s, and I read it and I'm not really sure what to think of it.
He read it, chat. He read it.
Yeah,
Everybody clapped.
deliberately-
Give him some
I
gold.
deliberately, like,
Give him some gold.
Read the manga, and it's got this
He's read it.
attacked
He's
by
literally read
spiders.
it. He's literally read it. I can't believe
I
it.
looked at it.
He hates them calling him Reddit.
But it's so
he
there's this like
basically-
so you know how like you can like tell like what era an anime is from based on like its art style. You know?
Yes, you can.
And this one is no exception. It's like it's from like the 70s, and it's got like the bushy eyebrows, the big hair, that kind of thing.
Yeah, big hair, bushy eyebrows. The like almost like hair eyes that are like on the side of the heads.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
But and a lot of that I often like feel that kind of like art style is it's like primitive. It's sort of like they haven't fully learned how to draw yet a lot of the times.
Yeah. I get you. I
And
understand.
so
I think they have.
I
learned
read this
how to draw.
manga, and in fact, I'm gonna assuming I don't get attacked by spiders. I'm actually gonna show you a picture of it.
I'm linking up another railroad back into the
Sure
back
thing.
into where you were coming from.
Let me see if I can find.
I'm gonna dismantle a bunch of power pylons though. Teehee.
Try and find the funny panel.
Let me check. Is there like, have we got a loop of power? I think we've got a loop of power. I wish I could see the power pylons on the map, but we can't do that.
Yeah,
I know there's a website
this
to do it.
is a page from Devilman, and this is like, I don't know, like I look at this, and
wait, that's Devilman?
You've seen this before?
Like Devilman Crybaby?
Oh, you've seen Devilman Crybaby? No, this is the
no,
because
it's like there's a modern anime version.
I've yet to watch
I
it.
didn't know the
Looks pretty
original.
cool.
I did not know the original looked like that. Holy shit!
It's yeah. I need to watch that newer one. Like I've heard a lot of people don't like it, but like I think it looks kind of.
I've heard it's good. I've heard it's good.
I've heard it's
like,
terrible.
Relative. I've heard it's okay. Like it could be worse. It's got like
Sun
it's got like a
not
good
shitting on an artist. Well, this is interesting because well, initially I am kind of shitting on this artist. Like and this is like I'm treading dangerous ground here. This is a Mr. Gona guy in the Japanese. Ooh. I don't know what the Japanese word is, but they call him in the English translations call him Master, you know, or just Mister, you know, which is like like this is the kind of stuff reserved for people like Tezuka and stuff, you know, like he is practically deified in like the mangaka industry. So like me shitting on him is like I will be crucified. But I'm looking at this and I'm like I feel like it's really bad. I feel like this looks amateurish. You know, I feel like
it looks alright.
Like the proportions are inconsistent. Like the eyes are a bit wonky. Like it doesn't look like a pro's work.
No, but it looks like someone who's like it doesn't look bad. I think you're taking like your like super critical eye and applying it to too many things. That's my opinion. Teehee.
Like, see now, I automatically give it a bit of a free pass because it's from like the 70s. I'm like, okay, you know, you have to apply like the historical reference there. However, he also draws really well drawn pages in, and I'll get an example of that actually. One minute.
What did Sun mean by this? Chat, what does Sun mean by this? Type in the comments below.
And here's like another panel from like basically the same like chapter, more or less the same year, and this is very pro looking. So sorry to dig me. I'm too lazy to open up the drawing program and post a picture of it. But
well, those panels are serving different purposes.
It's a matter of like I mean in terms of like artist skill. It's like what is the artist capable of, you know? And I see like the sort of sloppily drawn one. And I think, you know, this artist can draw certain things, you know. Bloody hell, I'm getting attacked.
So I'm gonna throw a concept at you, Son, right? I'm gonna throw a quick concept at you.
Go ahead.
That I don't think you're recognizing with the artists, right? Is that you're taking the artist's like best works, and you're trying to apply that standard to all of their works. That's what I think you're doing.
It's I was thinking of like how I would like try and explain it, because I thought I mentioned this to you before. Like, imagine like you're playing Factorio, or you're seeing someone else play Factorio, and you can sort of look at their base and get an idea of how skilled they are at the game. You know, like when they make like a certain kind of spaghetti, you know, there are telltale signs of a beginner. You know,
yeah,
where it's like if someone was good at the game, they would never do this. Like, and it's not even out of laziness; they would just never do it. You know, it's like it's an amateur move. And there are what's it called? There are lazy moves that a pro will make, but they're different from the lazy moves that a more experienced person would make. And I don't see that here. I see in this, I see the kinds of drawings that like what I believe like an amateur would make, like the sort of inconsistent proportions, the sort of wonky, shaky line weights and stuff like that. But then I see them go and draw something that's really good, and it's sort of like, well, what's going on here? And I can't figure it out. And so far, everyone who I've mentioned this has told me that I have no taste.
I think it's not you have no taste. I think it's you just failing to realize that like the artists just inherently just might not be consistent during panels they deem not worth being consistent for.
That's one theory I thought of, because it is from that earlier period of manga where maybe like the culture hasn't fully set in yet of like these days, like mangas like they don't put out crap. Like you don't see lazy panels. If you see lazy panels, they get clowned on for it, you know, like Bleach with the heart, you know, like
that's like I said, that's always a possibility, because like it might just be that they aren't like that, like they just might not be like they just might not have cared about that panel. They might just be like, this'll do, and then they're done with it.
Could be. It's very interesting though. It's very interesting though, because it's sort of, you don't see art like this anymore. The art that the standards for being an artist in like the manga industry are tremendously high. Do you like Attack on Titan?
I did, and then I stopped watching it, and now I feel like I should finish it.
Have you seen the manga of Attack on Titan?
I owned like the first few volumes.
Now he's
used
got
to. I don't own them
people.
anymore.
People like he gets a little bit of hate for his being the kind of sloppy looking art. I think it's the style.
His art was fine.
Yeah, I think
the
it's
art
like
was
his
fine.
style.
It was just super heavily like sketched.
However,
like,
have you
there
seen?
was just heavy like shading on it. And it was like whatever.
Have you seen the one shot he did? The original like pilot.
It probably looks sloppy as hell, because it's usually like a one shot.
Sloppy.
One shots are usually super like.
It's
basic.
really like, it's almost inspiring in its amateurness, because it's really
I see.
it's really bad.
Anyway, I've got another train line coming out the swamp now.
Out the swamp. You're still in the swamp. I'm in like the middle of the map. I'm coming into.
I'm no
I don't know what
longer
this is
in the
called.
swamp, mister.
I see. Look, I built a long train line going through a tunnel. But the big name stuff, that's got a high standard unless it's Bleach.
That's
Yeah.
true. Bleach is like.
Or One Piece.
No, Bleach has terrible. Bleach's issue is its storytelling.
Yeah, the author of Bleach doesn't care about the story.
The issue with Bleach is that it was a long running shonen with a reactive instead of proactive protagonist.
Yeah, that too. That's the main character of Bleach is kind of, it's not very interesting.
Ichigo is so boring. Man just wants to go home, and while I understand his plight, goddamn is he terrible for a story.
Wait, what's his plight?
He wants to make sure his friends are safe. That's literally his entire. That's his goal.
Has he
That's his goal in the
considered
anime.
not making dangerous friends who get themselves into trouble?
Well, you know, not all of his friends are that dangerous.
You know, like he had a pretty normal school life. You know, like. Well, does he care about those friends anymore? When was the last time he spoke to them?
He does. One of they went to the Soul Society with him and started doing dangerous stuff. Remember?
Did they now?
Yeah. Remember the guy who could turn his arm into like a cannon or something?
Yeah, but what about the other characters who stayed? Like, what about, I don't even know their names. The side characters to the side characters. You know, the guy who stayed in Karakura Town. They were his best friends. I think in one of the early chapters, he calls one of them his best friend or something. Or, you know, I don't think he spoke to them in a long time. You know,
you are very correct there. Point being, Bleach is kind of ass. Point of this video essay. Bleach kind of ass, bro.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of video essays, I was watching
I love a good video.
I
love a good video essay. Oh,
I mean, after I want to watch Chernobyl, I then got recommended a YouTube channel of like nuclear engineer or something reacts to, and then all various like nuclear power plant type videos. And one of them, he was reacting to a video essay about nuclear power plants and the Chernobyl specifically. And he was like, this is absolutely ass. Like, everything they said here is just, like, completely wrong. And it was one of, like, the really big... It was, like, mega projects, I think the channel was called. And it was like, this is terrible.
No! They got owned. Owned alive. They deserved it. They earned that one.
And it's like, video essays are so bad. I still assume... Oh, yeah, you said you was going to do a video essay, didn't you, Digby? On the politics of... Digby, why don't you...
What's Digby's video essay on? What's Digby's video essay on?
Starfield factions.
Starfield is kind of... I've heard Starfield's kind of ass. I thought it was ass.
But I'm curious, Digby, why don't you, make like, videos on, like, just, like, straight up, like do the Kuro thing, you know, just, like, talk about the real world.
The real world is kind of lame and depressing. I don't think Digby wants to talk about that.
You know, I guess you're right. I guess you're right.
All right, another intersection is made. We're so back.
It's very mid.
It's very mid. True. True. Real world is also very mid. Missing materials. What the fuck?
Oh, I'm so low on health. Always low on health.
We have more. We have more fucking. We have more train lines, by the way.
Always more train lines.
No, we actually have more. Come take a look at one building.
I have no idea. I don't even know where the nearest train line is at the moment.
Oh, okay. I built it out from the swamp. It surrounds a SAM site.
Actually, I'm not sure there is a train line going through this area. This is, there may not be. There's too many enemies, they're distracting me.
I'm coming up onto the cliff area that you're in right now. Holy shit.
Oh, I'll check the map once I kill this once I kill this dude.
Yeah, you can see what train line I'm building. I'm building like a big, like, splintering train line that went up like a hill.
Ragdoll. Alright, let's see. Okay, so if I go further south, I'll hit a train line. That's probably where I'm gonna... Oh, wait, no. Maybe I should be going... What am I doing? What am I doing? Let me go find where I came out of.
Chat, what is he cooking?
Oh, what am I doing? I'm losing it. Where did I come from? Okay, I came from there.
Oh.
I'm facing this direction. Really? Oh, I guess so. I guess no. I don't want to. There's no point in connecting a train line there. I've got to go further north. That's what I've got to do. But there's no train line going through the middle. Need a train line going through the middle, I think.
I'm making a train line going through the middle. Come take a look. Come take a look.
Where is he? Let's go find Mr. Gaussran. Because they're fascinating both the plausibility and accidentally good writing, coupled with utter stupidity.
Accidentally good writing, it kind of fits Bethesda to a T, honestly. That is like a descriptor I could not like agree on more. Like, holy moly, is Bethesda bad?
Well, you're further away than I thought.
I'm a bit far, that is true. But, like, it's kind of working out. I'm where one of your power lines are. That's the best way to describe it.
Do you have any idea how little that narrows it down?
True.
Literally hundreds of power lines that I've placed down all over the map. Saying it's by one of the power lines.
True,
it could be literally anywhere in the map. Oh, I see you. Oh, you're coming through this area, I see.
Yeah, do you like this intersection?
Oh, you found the SAM node as well. Yes, it's a good intersection, I think.
Yeah, it's a good spot for it, right? I don't like that power line. I'm gonna do something real quick. Hold up. Ooh.
Oh, and also I see you found the other way of getting out of the swamp. You did that. Nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna fly past this radiation spike. Ooh, that's a lot of damage. Oh, my game lagging.
Oh, I got that as well.
Yeah, I blew up some rocks. And it made my game go crunch.
I got the crunch as well.
God, my game is like chugging now. We got 20 FPS gaming.
Yeah, I think you've hit something. You've hit something in the game's code.
I broke. You know, there's distributable rocks. I broke 3 of them at once with a single bomb.
I mean, it shouldn't break the game.
No, it does. The game does not like having physics objects. It does not like it. Unreal Engine might hate it. I fucking hate Unreal Engine. Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad. So bad. Alright, okay, power lines are connected up again.
I'm gonna see where this line leads to. So I think this might lead to another main line if I follow this path. I would be tempted to do real-world politics stuff, but really, real-world politics is just depressing and cringe. Plus, it'd be too easy to fall into the political grifter streamer niche, and it won't be able to maintain an audience in that way.
That's also true. Yeah, that's the other thing about like streaming political stuff is that you become a grifter no matter what you do.
Yeah,
like even if you're like true to your values, because you're using those to like gain an audience, it is like even if you're like entirely true to your audience, you are grifting slightly. Sorry, I don't do it.
I guess you
Do
also
me
like
every single-
you run this like there's like a risk of if you either if you want to be interesting, you got to kind of drop hot takes. That's just sort of part of the game. But if
I'm good at that. See,
if you want to be intelligent,
that's where I'm good.
You have to be boring. There's like no way.
Yeah. See, I'm good with hot takes, but I just drop video game hot takes. That's all I do. No, I'm serious, right? My video game hot takes are crazy good because I put out oh, there you are. Okay, you're bringing it up here. Is that where you're building like a rail off? Okay.
I think so. Something like that.
I see. You're making an intersection? Okay, I see. I put out a tweet recently, and I'm going to talk about my Twitter now because Twitter, right? Twitter, my beloved. I hate it. Anyway, I put out a tweet recently because the new Pokemon game got announced. Whoa, that's so cool, right? Whoa, new Pokemon game. Whoa, we love some Pokemon. Whoa, we love them. They're pretty cool. Anyway, new Pokemon game got announced, and a lot of people were hating on the starters.
Oh, were they not sexy or something?
They were not, no, because they're ones that have already been used. This is like a Legends game where they're reusing some starters, which is fine.
It's kind of weird.
I think it's fine. It's not like the worst thing that could be done. Don't worry. It's like there's so many more worse things that could be done with that. But like,
I'm losing the plot here.
because the new Pokemon game, the new Pokemon company stealing Power Word mechanics, true. But like, what happened was people complaining that the three starters, right? And there was a specific starter they were like targeting, right, with most of their hate. They were like, oh, because it was from Generation 5, Black and White, and Black and White 2. Now, if you know anything about the Pokemon games, you'll know that those are A, the best games, right, and B, the least enjoyed, the ones that have the worst reputation because they weren't gimmick maxing, and they were different Pokemon. They were here's a new Pokemon, use them, right? Didn't they use the Gen 2 starters? They used the Gen 2 Grass and Water starter and the Gen 5 Fire starter, right? And people were complaining about that. They were like, no, bring back Cyndaquil, who was recently in Legends Arceus, right? Yeah, no, Cyndaquil, because they've already used him recently, right? So it makes sense that they won't use him again. And it's kind of fair. I'm gonna be real. Not every Pokemon should get as much I already hate some Pokemon because they get too much attention from Game Freak. I don't want to hate more of them because they get too much attention from Game Freak, right? So I'm sick of seeing them. I'm sick of seeing Charizard in every goddamn game, right?
Wait.
And I'm right. I'm right.
Sure.
I'm real for that one. That's also true. That's also very true, Mr. Digby. That's also very true.
Oh, look at this Galtran. Look at this beautiful,
Son, you should read what's put in your chat.
Yeah, that's people think it's because in Legends they revealed the ancient legend of Typhlosion that banged a lolly. What? What?
Literally, actually true as well.
Back in my day, Pokemon lore was silly Pokemon, Pikachu funny. What's going on here? I'm losing the plot.
To be fair, Typhlosion was recent, but the point being is people are complaining about the Gen 5 starter. So I made a funny tweet. I made a very funny tweet, right? I made a very funny tweet. Of that guy with all the knives in his back, and the girl's she's cut her hand, and she's like, "You'll never understand my pain," and the guy's "Hey, I know. I got to make that. I got to make that because Gen 5 gets a lot of hate from the casual fans, right?
It's too steep. Oh, it's too steep.
Get owned.
I'm so upset. I could delete it. Ugh. So mad.
But that tweet popped the fuck. But back to the point of shit posting on Twitter. That tweet popped off. Unironically, it did 10 times better than my regular tweets. So I was like, huh? That's crazy.
Screwing up my beautiful thing.
So I need to tweet out more opinions is what I learned. What I learned is I should just fight people on Twitter about video game opinions.
Right, that gives it some incline. No, it doesn't. Come on. Will that connect, or is that too short? It's too short! Ah! Ugh. Become a disaster. Too sharp. Oh my god, it's so over. Everything's going wrong.
Are you fighting an intersection right now, son?
I am.
Would you like me to come help?
I can do it. Maybe. Let me keep trying.
I can help.
I have faith that I'll figure it out eventually.
Okay, I believe in you.
Okay, that'll work. And then... Is it not working? It was working before. 1, 2...
That's one rail down.
Wait, I need to go closer. Let's go right here. It works. And that should connect to there. Is that connected? That was connected. Yeah, let's see if it'll work now. Doesn't
Huge.
work. Okay, maybe the other one will work. We got one down. Which means I gotta bring this whole thing down further. Give me.
Hi.
Oh, are you here? Oh,
Yes.
you're bringing the train line. Hopefully you can also connect your train line. What? No, that's not gonna work. That's too close.
Done. No, it's good.
What about
It's
the
good.
second one?
It'll work. We can. It's fine.
Hold on. We can make these a little further apart. At least one foundation apart.
Okay, you can try working that out. I'm gonna stick it with that because it kind of worked. Ooh. Runs too sharply. Okay, right. We'll do this then.
Can I place a foundation on here? Okay. Ah.
I had to move that one. I actually need to move this anyway. We can have them close together for this part, right? There's nothing wrong with having them close together for this part.
Hold on, I might be able to get this to work. No, I've got to go one more foundation higher.
Okay, I got it working. I got it connected. Yippee! We can get rid of this.
Does that connect there? No.
If you let go of the flow just a little bit, it becomes fine. Don't worry, son.
I want this to work.
Okay, I got it working. Yippee! It's connected.
Really? Ugh,
Would you like me to try?
I'm so mad. Oh, there. See, how that?
There we go.
Come on, we can go further apart than that. Come on. Let me try.
No,
Let
you
me
can't
see,
because
let me-
that's. Okay.
Let me see if we can get it like here. This is like a midpoint. Will that work? Yeah, that works.
There we go. That's
There
what
we
get.
go,
I mean,
okay.
it gets close together up here due to like the winding path. So it
How
doesn't
close
really
is it?
matter.
Yeah.
Like this. It looks like this.
Oh, that's not close at all.
You sure? Okay.
Yeah, it's not close at all. The one from before was way closer.
We have now connected up some train lines, like entirely.
Well, where does
Now I'm
this
gonna
one
ride a
lead to?
train.
Did I make an intersection? I did make an intersection. Yes, I did.
I'm gonna test it. I'm gonna test your intersection, son.
Hang on.
I'm testing the train.
Sign doesn't look right. Why has this one got no graphic on it? Maybe
You
that's
haven't
just...
connected it properly.
I think it might be a graphic. Does it have a graphic on your thing?
Nope.
What have I done wrong?
I also couldn't turn right despite attempting to.
Alright, I'll rebuild this one.
It's a pretty cool track, though.
Okay, there we go. It
backwards.
works now.
Back-
I just remaking it fixed it.
I see. Okay.
Oh yeah, but what do you think of my Well, it's got a bit messed up now because of the foundations, but for a brief moment of time, it was a intersection on an incline, and it was neat and tidy because the whole thing was built with consistent foundations.
I see.
It kept the whole thing on the platform.
I'm gonna come around and see it again. Don't worry. Just give me a sec. I'll be there in a bit. I'm going around the entire railway. I'm going around the entire intersection. And you know what? It's working. It looks cool as hell. It actually is cool as hell.
It does. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
You can also tell where I've been and where you've been building because you use more foundations.
Do you? You don't use many? I guess actually maybe I should. Yeah, I guess that's what I should do. I'm gonna.
I didn't finish the rail. I'm killing myself. It's over.
I'm gonna make another intersection here, I guess.
I did not connect up the last two parts. I'm actually done, bruh. Okay, I connected up now. Yippee, it's connected.
Okay, what am I doing here?
Yup. Yup. So much verticality in these lines as well. Holy shit.
Look, at some point we're gonna have to make a computer factory.
Now it works.
We need
Now
those for
it
signals.
works. Oh, look at that. Why? I'm gonna fix these power pylons though. To be fair,
yeah,
I'm gonna do that.
No problemo.
It is a full loop, I assume. Incoming. Incoming.
Oh, hello.
Crunch.
So one,
Rebuilding
two,
another intersection.
three. Yeah.
That's not gonna work.
It'll work. Everything will work. I'm a genius.
No, it won't. Because look at this. Oh, it will work, maybe. This one won't.
Yeah,
Oh, look at shit. Okay, shit. Maybe it will work then. Holy moly. Yeah, it works. Okay.
Okay, sort of the way you go is like you have you found the end of the railroad here, and then it's like 3 foundations this way, and then like it's like 2 foundations with like a block at the end here. Sort of this kind of pattern. I'm gonna have to make an incline here though. Where is foundations? I'm getting attacked by the flying things. Where is it?
I see.
I don't know where it is.
Oh, let's get rid of some of these trees as well. They're in my way. Wah!
Oh my god.
Got it. Where are they? Oh wow, there's a dog spawn as well. Found it.
Yeah, what was I doing? I didn't go enough foundations, did I? Did I?
I got rid of it for you, son. I got rid of it for you.
I'm losing the plot here. What am I doing?
He's plot maxing, chat. Another one down. Okay, bugs are gone.
There we go.
Tree!
I guess I want that there.
How are we going to get this train to go down? It's kind of in the air right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring it down gradually.
Okay. I believe you. Got chips. I'm eating crisps. I'm eating Pringles. Pringle, my beloved.
Pringles. They're very tasty.
Yeah.
How many do you eat at a time?
I'm not answering that. I think because I don't count.
Like I eat like so many Pringles at a time.
The whole can.
It's the way to go.
Yummers.
That's the meta.
Yummers. Speaking of yummers, is when's the new season of The Boys out? It's kind of trash now. It's like kind of like actually shit now, but like I kind of like watching like shit.
Did I tell you my story about the Boys comic that I saw?
Oh, you did. You did tell me about that.
did.
How you saw it like you saw it in like a charity shop, and it got sun bleached in one of the windows, and then it got left outside in the rain.
we hid the Boys comic here.
It's terrible. It's actually like terrible. The comic is terrible, and the show is now terrible. The show was better,
really?
right?
That's a shame.
Yeah, no, the show got as bad as the comic.
Damn, how do you screw that up? They had like cool looking actors.
We did, yeah. And it was a good. The show was actually like kind of good. You know, it was like, oh, okay.
No,
But now it's just like
that.
it's now just like current day politic, but superhero.
I mean, I don't know. What was it 2006? The original one?
Yeah.
I think it was. Who was the American president at that time? So
Not Reagan.
It's Bush. It must have been Bush, right?
Bush. It was the Bush administration. Yes. Because it was Bush, Obama,
Bush is kind of boring.
Trump. It was Bush, Obama, Trump, Biden, Trump. That's the order it's gone in.
Biden.
Joe Biden, 9/11. Joe Biden.
Guy called Biden.
Oh, I'm thinking of that one meme of the guy of the old fat guy who's like Joe Biden 9/11, but there's an edit of it I've got where it's like it's like showing like City 17 in the Citadel, and instead of G-Man, it's just that guy saying Joe Biden.
Oh, I can. Hold on, I missed the fun thing Digby was saying. Is I could keep doing model stuff. I'm gonna progress, or I could play Monster Hunter.
You should not play Monster until I can play the game. Teehee. I should. I'm gonna talk about Monster Hunter World's bannable in my chat, like neutral, timeoutable in my chat, because I haven't played the game, and telling me about how fun the game is just makes me sad.
Another clean intersection. Clean. All right, let's figure out how I'm gonna get this down here. Also, what route I want to take. Okay.
I'm breaking more walls, by the way.
A wall. Oh, I see. I see. Oh. May your PC have mercy.
Oh, it comes out here. I see. Interesting. It comes out on top of this area. Okay.
Is this the second or third train stream?
This is technically including the first one where we unlocked trains. This is the third.
Will we?
I died.
I don't think you died. How did you die?
Yeah, I'm gonna get my stuff. I had 4 damage. I ran out of jetpack.
Ah, the classic blunder.
Mm-hmm. I'm so used to just being able to float everywhere.
Yeah, you always gotta leave just a little sliver of fuel.
Fortunately, you can air strafe in this game, which is crazy good.
Oh, one thing you can do actually. How do I describe this? In your like equipment, when you're like picking like equipment, whether it's like a jetpack or a hover pack, the equipment shortcuts, like you have like the like 3 or 4 items that like you can put in your hands. You can they're key bound to numbers depending on their position. So it's like, you know, if you press like 1, it will give you what is in the first slot. And so find the keybind that is your what's it called, your parachute, and you press that button and it switches.
Okay, well I made it back anyway.
Which allows you to like hot switch.
I can basically traverse the entire planet right now and just sit in, like, it's so easy.
It's true.
This drop pod is opened. I can ignore it now. Uh-oh, I'm dying. Hee Yum.
We're all dying.
No, I am actually dying. I'm low health again.
You gotta get some berries, man.
I ate some fungus.
Fungus.
Among Us.
Jesus Christ.
Is
that the Among Us theme song? I don't even know how the Among Us theme song goes.
That is how it goes.
Either you're singing it really poorly or I've like never heard it.
I am singing it poorly. That is true. That is an accurate statement. I do not care.
Among Us tune. I'm not sure I know it.
Maybe it's the trap remix. It might be that. And kablooey. Oh, sweet. I'm getting rid of all these stink rocks real quick. Hold up. I also connected up the power again. And so it's not clipping with train lines anymore. Now we have like a full-on like... I like how you've made like these really fancy like stands for your train lines. It's really
fancy, like it's just need to get to the right height.
They're kind of fancy. I know they're kind of fancy.
The sort of the go-to like meta for like trains is you build a blueprint of your train stand and you have like variations of it for all different like angles and inclines and curves and stuff.
Yeah,
and that's how people make like really nice fat train lines. However, while you almost the only time you ever hear of the model limit in this game is when you do that.
Oh, what's the model limit?
I forget. It's a really high number, but it's there is a model limit, but you'll never hear of the model limit unless you're building these like ridiculously complex
Is the
train
mod limit
supports.
is the mod
Yeah.
limit how many items can be placed in the world?
They call it objects. I don't know the techie details of it, but the point is you'll never run into the object limit unless you are making these copy and paste blueprints for really complicated train supports where they've got like signs on them and all kinds of details, like where like each one is just like tons of models. And you like have like 1,000 of them.
See where your train area is leaning. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in sort of this direction. There's more oil down here.
Yeah, I'm tempted to like also pull off another part of your train line and pull down a second pathway to that area.
Oh yeah, sure.
Coming down at like a 90-ish degree angle, so you can
90
like...
degree angle?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know how to do it. It's sort of like an exploit. There's a way to make very vertical railways. I wonder if we can find a picture of it. Actually, I did post you the picture once. Actually, I'll find the picture again. Actually, no, I can't bother. I'll just tell you. I'll just tell you. It's the stairway where, like, it goes. The train line goes in stairs. Like, it goes 90 degrees vertical and then like horizontal, and then 90 degrees vertical again. It literally is the stairs, and then the train will follow it. It's the silliest thing ever.
That reminds me, I have a question. Do you know what happens when a train like goes up too much of an incline and then goes down an incline, or goes down an incline then goes back up one? Do you know what happens?
Wait, say again?
Do you know what happens when a train goes down an incline that's too steep and then levels out? Like a steam train.
I don't
It
think
causes a steam explosion inside the boiler.
Oh, why?
Well, so you know the part where you put like the fucking coal, right? You know that bit where the fire is the furnace.
I think so, maybe.
So that is covered with water, right? Like that is covered with water in the tank, right?
I see.
So when the train leans forwards, the water comes off it.
Oh, that's kind of.
What happens?
Has that ever happened?
What
in real
happens? Yes, it has. Let me
God.
find you the image. You can put it up on stream. So what happens is the train, and then the boiler, while the water's not on top of the boiler, it gets really hot, right? And then the water splashes back onto it. And the water, now touching this now really hot boiler plate, vaporizes instantly.
That's crazy.
And you want to see the results?
I imagine it's very toasty. Very toasty train.
Well, you know how the inside of the train is made up of mostly tubes?
Tubes? Shut the end.
Pipes and tubes.
One moment, let me just make this one more train rail and I'll have a look. Wait, did that connect? It did. No, it didn't. One moment. There we go. Alright, let's
That's
have
fine,
a
that's
have a
fine.
gander.
And I think you should show your chat this as well.
Oh god, that's so spooky. Let me.
It is kinda
let me
spooky,
open
isn't
my
it?
thing and show that. It's pretty
It
spooky.
is. It's kind of worth showing. It's kind of fucked up when you think about it.
Look at this. That's kind of spooky. What's that guy called? I remember. The Lovecraftian train can't hurt you. The Lovecraftian train. That's
It can
crazy.
hurt you, and more importantly, it will hurt you.
That is crazy. It's very
It is
spooky.
insane. It is very spooky. Right, I made a section off of one of your lines.
Nice.
And when I say I made it in section, I literally just added like the two parts.
Where am I going? Am I going left or right? Let's see where this leads to. If we go that way, it takes me down there. If we go that way, it takes me down there. I think this way is going to be the way.
It's a little scuffed.
Is it an angled intersection?
Yeah, it's on an angle, but like one part's flat.
I see.
It could be worse, but it really could be better. You can come take a look if you really want, but like,
Oh, I found
I advise you don't.
found another hard drive area. What's in here? It needs circuit boards. Also, speaking of hard drives, we haven't been doing this. I mean, we get a man.
I've got like 3 on me right
I'm
now.
almost gonna die.
Yeah, that's what like I was with the Steam explosion. So like the fact you mentioned like vertical trains, if these things ran on Steam, would quite literally be a death trap. It also recontextualizes that one scene in the Polar Express. Now, if you know the Polar Express, you know about the train scene, right? Where the train goes up and down this icy mountain.
Oh, I can't actually remember.
And
I haven't
at
watched
one
the film in
point-
a long time.
And at one point, the train is like pointing straight down.
Wait, do we not have any
So
hard drives?
as soon as that train would level out, son, the children who are standing at the front of the train, like in front of it, would quite literally be vaporized along with the front part of the train.
That's kind of funny.
It's fucked up. That's what it is.
I should watch that film again. What was the plot of that film?
Meeting Santa and believing in him.
Let's see, this is pretty wholesome.
Yeah, it's it's a Christmas movie.
Oh, I guess so. It's a Christmas movie, isn't it?
It's the Polar
Yeah, but
Express. It is a Christmas movie.
What was wrong with the train?
No, the train was fine. It's just there's a scene in it where like if the train wasn't like magical, it would have exploded and killed but it would have killed the people in the front of it and likely maimed and injured multiple children in the cars.
The train is magical?
Yeah.
What does it do that's magical?
Well, it creates a train line right outside your house for starters.
Wow. That's like
It gets it gets to the outside your house, not like in your garden, right? It does it in like the roads.
very, very important.
It's on public ground, don't worry. But it's like it's magical, it knows where your address is. It gets to the North Pole in like an hour from like the US. There's also like the golden ticket guy who has like omnipotent knowledge. Same with like the ghost, who is quite literally the ghost of Christmas.
There's a ghost
or the Christmas
in the
spirit.
film?
Yes, there's a ghost.
What does
He
he
turns
look
into
like?
snow. He looks like an old man.
I think I
not
thought I remembered this.
Santa.
I thought I remembered this film. I evidently don't.
He doesn't know about the Christmas
the
ghost.
the only thing I remember is like the conductor guy. Like he's got like the hat on, and he says
he's omnipotent.
something. I can't remember what he says, and there's like a kid, and they like get on the train, and then they go over like an ice field or something. That's like literally what I remember.
That train conductor is omnipotent, like straight up. He's omniscient. He's omniscient, not omnipotent, but omniscient easily.
He's all knowing.
Yeah, and the train is 100% magical. The train is 100% magical, right?
The Latin word "scio" means "I know."
The Latin word, I think it's merde. It means shit. Am I right?
I think that's Italian, or maybe
yeah.
It's sort of
it's
like
in French as well. It's French as well, so I'm like, it's possibly
the problem with Latin is that everything we have of Latin is preserved from people who were probably quite socially acceptable, like published works that weren't immediately burned and had their authors killed. And so
no
like
swear words.
It's hard to know how did the average Roman builder speak, because like they weren't writing books. Like if there was Roman slang, we don't know too much of it.
We should learn it. We should find a way to learn it.
Well, it's a matter of whether any evidence of it exists. Who would write down? It's like who the hell writes down slang? It's not like you write down.
Yeah, you do on walls, duh.
Well, we have some walls, but like even then, it's sort of like
it's
sparse.
it's like how in Pompeii there's depictions of two men having sex on a wall.
But today, the person who writes graffiti today can write. the person was
That's
probably
true.
you know, the guys in the past, like they weren't literate.
There is also the possibility that just like, what's his name? What's his name? I forgot his name. He's the one who like said, "Behold, a human."
Plato.
Like,
Diogenes.
Gouges, yeah, he might have done it. He might. That sounds
Oh,
like something he would do.
hello, bigger branch. Welcome. Hello, son and other guy. This other guy is spelled
Hi, I'm other guy.
Gelter.
Hi, I'm other guy.
His name is pronounced. The G is pronounced as a J. It's Jokum.
He's lying. It's Gelteran. I nearly said it as well. You're fucking me up, man. God damn it. It's over. Ooh, creature exploded with bombs.
It's kind of funny.
It is kind of funny. You're right. Let's
Okay.
go
Now I've
way.
made my offshoot, I'm going to go ride the rails and see if I can see the difference in my style of rails to your style of rails. I'm on my
You have a
rail
lot
at the moment.
more. You have a lot more foundation behind your rails. That's all I'm gonna say.
So what do you build yours like on the terrain or something?
I died to radiation. Yippee.
Oh, that's
partially, yeah. That's fine.
You gotta eat more berries.
Well, I was grabbing a Mercer.
I see.
I did get the Mercer though, so you know it was kind of worth it.
There we go. It's worth dying for.
Yes. Unironically true. Ooh. I see our rails. I see our rails from the sky. There are so many of these things. Oh, I see where I died. Huge.
Oh, actually, here's a complete side tangent. This is something I was doing earlier today. I was doing like you know, in my eternal rants about like comics and manga and stuff. I was doing some studies myself, like how they look, and I made like a page. I made a comic page. And then it didn't look too good, and so I edited it, and I think I made it better. Let me show you the one. Where is OBS art? So I made this comic page. I was studying like manga, trying to make something that looks like a manga page, and I made this, and I thought this was like, kind of right, but it didn't look right. It didn't look right. It was like it was something off about it. Something off about it. It looked
I'm in combat.
amateur.
I can't see.
Looks
Keep
amateur.
it on screen for a little while. Keep it on screen for a little while.
Sure thing. You're in the delay.
I'm also like dying to monsters, and I need to fight them. Otherwise,
and then so I go and compare it. I go and compare it with like other action manga, and I realize that they make the characters take up much more of the frame. Like they're really cramped in there, and then also the speed lines are thicker. And so I edited just that, and I think it makes a significant difference. Look at this like difference. Put these side by side.
Difference.
And like it's subtle. Like it's so subtle. I'm gonna have to try and.
Is that Coyote? That is way better.
You know, it's like the only thing like I really changed was hold on, I'm trying to squeeze it around the Fugis here. There we go.
The thing you changed was composition.
Yeah, like I made the characters more zoomed in, and I made the speed lines thicker. And it's like a world of difference. Like it almost looks real. It almost looks like a real manga page.
It does. It looks like an old manga as well.
Yeah, it's definitely an older style. That's part of the problem. That's still like I'm still not trying to fix that. It's old manga has this really high contrast. It's very black and white, whereas more modern manga there are a lot more greys in it.
I'm also talking about like the shape.
Oh yeah, it's kind of got like a sort of old shape.
That's very old shapes.
It is.
Which is good. You know. I died again.
It's a good fun. It's sort of like well, let me see what else I was doing. I was also I'm just gonna find it. I was also like studying like generic pages that you see in manga, like your trope pages.
I see. You know, I just noticed I can take a train back to where I died.
You know, it's like how like how many times have you seen these pages? These pages, like these they're so common.
Oh yeah.
They're so, like you know, like they appear again and again. You know, some of them are quite old. This one here, like you don't see this. This is old fashioned. They don't do this anymore. This one with the you're on a delay, but you'll see it eventually. It's like the panic,
which one?
weird one.
Oh, the panic one. I see that a few times. Still.
It's a bit old now. It's a bit outdated.
It is a little bit.
you know. But like, some of these are still like they're and I think like you could make like a manga just by like mashing these together, which is exactly what I did with that thing.
I mean, you have to get a bit more. You have to get a few more unique parts, to be fair.
But notice how they were also I'm on back on the gaming page. Let me just check. I am, yeah. Okay. You can my windows are not in the right order. You on those like things I did, the generic page and stuff, they were all just a sort of TV 4:3 resolution aspect ratio.
Oh, okay.
Even though they were taken from panels which were not that at all, vertical panels, horizontal panels. However, I found, and this is like a big theory of mine. Like I'm pretty convinced. I think this is like, no, I've never heard anyone say this before. I think that the way manga is drawn is it's almost like it's ready for adaptation. Like all the compositions, they all fit into a 4:3 like resolution or 16:9. It doesn't really make much difference. Like there's no panels which are like, this cannot be adapted into animation. Every single panel can be adapted to animation, like without like changing anything too much.
No, there's panels out there which are just not like those aspect ratios.
Like what?
Like we went over Fullmetal Alchemist like a week ago. Hello, we went over Fullmetal Alchemist a week ago, and that manga alone is like full of panels that just don't fit into those aspect ratios.
I'm not sure which one you're thinking of, because I think all of them can be like they're like the only alterations you ever have to make are things like, if it's a really long vertical shot, you just have it as the panning of a camera, which is exactly how they do it when they adapt it. You know,
okay, but that's like.
Or like if you have one that's really horizontal, like more than the TV resolution, well, then you just like extend the top and bottom a bit to fit it in, or you just cut the ends off. Like compositionally, it changes very little. Like you don't have to, like you almost never run into like a page where it's like, I don't know what to do with this. Like they're almost storyboards half the time. Contrast to Western comics. They're very artistic. I was ranting about that one with the Batman with the wings and stuff. You can't convert that into an animation. It's not a storyboard. You have to just basically get rid of that whole thing. Like you can't do it.
No, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it.
But it would look like you're having a shot out of a comic book. Like
That's fine.
You can't make it standard animation. You would have to completely change the whole thing.
To be fair, a lot of like comic cartoons, like a lot of comic book hero cartoons, do like elude the fact that, oh yeah, this is like from a superhero comic, right?
Yeah. Think about like you have to make
a lot
maintain.
A lot of them do that.
But there's a weakness in that. There's a weakness in that where with anime, you're not thinking like there's very few times when like it's revealed that it's a manga. Like you think of times where like a character dies and then the scene goes to like a black and white drawing style. It's like they're showing you like this is a drawing, but that's like an artistic effect. They're doing it for like some artistic effects, but for which way am I going? I think I'm going this way.
I guess.
You know, but the what was I saying? You know, but it's like for the most part, it's like you watch like. It's like animated, and it's like you're just immersed in this world. Like you forget the medium. You forget the medium, and you just sort of you just watch the story. You know. But a lot of like frankly, I'm not even sure. Like one thing I kind of want to do is like by sort of comparing animes and manga, like in this sort of way, like I get an idea of like I see a panel and I know how that would be animated. But I can't do that with comics, because like, a lot of times they're just not. Then they don't do that adaptation thing, you know.
That's
so it's sort of like
true.
it's hard.
On the other hand, it's like
it's hard to understand.
There are like times in like comics where I've seen, or in like cartoons where I've seen like funky transitions, and that would represent those like weirder, like comic panels. Like we'll take the Batwoman cape one. We'll take the Batwoman cape one for an example, because that's what I'm thinking of.
I couldn't imagine how you would adapt that. Like it would have to be something very artsy-fartsy, I think.
It wouldn't be artsy-fartsy, but it would definitely be like a little eye-catching, I guess. It'd be like kind of cool and interesting. Would you have it?
see, we're imagining the same thing. You would have the scene of her coming in the window with her big cape thing, and then, hang on, did I go the right way? Close enough.
So, like,
and then you have the animated panels all within it, all happening at the same time. I can't imagine any other way.
No. What it would be is, like, the cape bellows in front of the camera, and then it transitions using, like, the darkness from the cape.
That would be converted into standard animation. You've lost
because you're turning the darkness and like the cape like being like covering up essentially the entire camera into a transition, which I think makes sense.
Hold on, I'm gonna have to get it up to actually show, because people who listen who have no idea what we're talking about.
That's true. That's true. I think
did
it would,
I
like,
save it anywhere?
You probably did. I'm assuming you didn't, and I don't blame you.
I saved my edit.
Oh no.
Okay, no, it's okay. I know where to find it. I've got a folder called Comics and Manga, which is then broken into manga and then comics. I'm very organised. In the comics folder, I've got a folder called Bad. It's just called Bad, and it's all my examples of comic pages I hate. And it's here. It is. I found it. Amazing. Okay, let's go to art. This is what I was talking about. I'm gonna. Oopsie, I closed it.
Yeah, I like how you're just going backwards on the line now.
On the line, am I? Oh crap! Yeah, I've let go of the button. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. I hate this page. I think this is ugly. I think it's.
I know you hate the page.
I think it's
we're not going to talk about whether the pages. We're not going to talk about whether the pages go or not. We're not going to open up that can of worms. Let's
I
not
have to do this
that.
first.
Let's agree.
I can't resist. I hate this. You know. Okay.
I think it's all right. You think it's bad. We're not going to fight. We're not going to fight about it. Right? We're just disagree here. But I think like this is essentially the comic version of like the cape being like the blackout screen and it transitioning. That's what I see this as.
Okay, so we have the scene here, and imagine there's nothing in here. Nothing. It's just a cape.
Yeah.
And then I guess maybe the cape flashes from the camera and does a transition through that, like a blackout thing, and then it continues on with the regular animation with these panels as regular animation.
Yeah, or like how like a flashlight hitting the screen can like change it to a different like place and time.
Oh yeah, that works too. That works too.
It'd be like those where instead of like they wouldn't be that exact panel in like the cartoon.
This is my edit. This is like, what I did. This is what I did to it.
Let's see your edit. Yeah, we'll see your edit. How you kind of butchered it. I'm gonna be honest.
I just normalized it. I just made it normal. You know, it's like that SpongeBob meme, man. It's normal SpongeBob.
That's true. You did normalize it, but like I feel like that's like the comic trying to emulate those cartoon transitions. That's what it's trying to do.
But with this,
and I think that's fine.
But with this normalized version, it's effortless to see how this would be animated. You could hand this to animators and they would know what to do. You wouldn't need to change anything. Like this here, it's already in the TV resolution. You just have this animated, nothing here, and then you have a cut. And the camera cuts here, and this, even though this is a vertical panel, you can just extend the sides a little out, and that you wouldn't lose anything composition. You would just like add extra like background detail to make it fit in a TV resolution. Same thing for these next two panels.
Maybe you'll even zoom in on his like upper half, really.
Yeah, or zoom in. Like you could easily fit this into a TV resolution. Very easy. I
still think that kind of like. I still think you kind of boringified it. I'm gonna be honest.
I wonder if I can find it. I had there was a thing I did where I where would I find it? Documents. Where would I put it? I did a thing where like I took like a comic page, and also I did it with a manga page. And like I edited it to like take out the comic of it and turn it into like a storyboard, basically. Darn, I can't find it. It's so over. I have no idea why I saved that. Oh well, let's get back to the game.
Yeah. Speaking of the game, my headache is coming back. Can we end a little early today?
Sure. Do you want to end at 10?
Let's end at 10. Yeah, I'll just be a little under the weather, and I don't want to like.
Hey, that's alright.
I don't want to push through a headache again. That was not fun last time.
No worries.
I think it's healthier that way.
So it looks like
we've made some progress.
One thing I want to get now that we've got rails going all around the map, it's kind of hard to sort of imagine where do we need rails next. You know, for some areas. One thing you go to Satisfactory Tools, upload the game save. It's in your like app data thing, and
I can do that.
And you can see the rails on the map. You can see all the buildings
I
and stuff on the
will-
map, and like it's like, and it's a really nice thing to look at.
I'll do that. Don't worry. I'm also clearing more stink rocks. Teehee.
Let's see, I tried destroying these trees earlier, but my Nobelisks wasn't working for some reason.
Oh, you can't destroy some. I'll destroy them. Don't worry.
They can be destroyed, but the game just wasn't having it.
Ah, I see. I'll get them. We
There
did
you
clear
go.
most of the swamp though,
Yeah,
which is very
this
funny.
has been fun. This has been a nice little chill sesh.
Chill sesh. We have also made we've also made a giant loop around the map with the trains.
We have, and like several like interconnecting pathways and stuff. It's sort of like we're almost at the point now where anywhere you go on the map, you're kind of near a train line, which is really nice.
Which is what we want as well with like transporting materials.
Oh, does this not lead anywhere? Oh, is this one you're making?
Doink.
Is this your making?
Yeah, that's what I'm
this?
making.
Wait.
No, I'm making that one.
Oh, you made this. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm back to making that
oh, it's
one,
like you've
yeah.
only got the one. Oh, you're really nearby, I'm guessing. Okay, I
I'm
thought
really
you
nearby.
you
I'm
laid
literally-
down all the unit parts first.
Let me show you how nearby I am. Let me show you how nearby I am.
I must be really
There you
nearby. I
are.
assume you're on top of this cliff. Yeah, I see you. There you are. Was there anything in here?
I haven't opened it yet. I was clearing mobs.
Oh, I see.
Cleared them. I'll let you open it. I'm going to deal with the trains now.
Okay.
Yeah, as you can see, I made another intersection. I might make that a 4-way intersection. Have it go like up the other path.
Where is
The other plan.
Go up the. Is there anything up there? I think that's like near the edge of the map.
Yes. It's near the edge, but I think having like a train up there is a good idea because it'd be elevated.
Okay, radiation. Super radiation.
Hate the radiation. Oh, it's a terrible mechanic. I hate it so much.
I got recommended that YouTube video again. You know, where it's like, you know, we shall combine our powers of pollution, and then they got the rings, and they're like, you know, it's like super radiation, smog, deforestation, hate, combines together to form Captain Pollution. Go pollution. Amazing.
Is that by the guy who does like little voiceover memes of the comic characters?
No, it's a real thing. It's from Captain Planet.
What? Whoa, that's fucked up. Anyway.
We need plastic. Plastic. Let me go get some plastic.
Plastic.
Of how stupid Captain Planet was. It's so. You can't even say on the nose. Like like on the nose implies any attempt at subtlety.
It was blatantly just like we are you should like do eco stuff and fight global warming. I mean, it's not a bad like message to send, you know, look after the planet, right? I'm not saying it's a bad message. I'm just saying it's very blatant.
Oh, speaking of terrible like cartoons and comics things, I saw a Reddit post earlier. I was looking for bad.
Well, that's
Reddit
a terrible start. That's a terrible fucking start to a conversation. Oh my god,
I
son.
was
Holy shit.
looking for like see if I could find any latest gossip about the comics industry. It's like is it dead yet? And
Yeah.
And
I see dead yet? Son waiting on its downfall.
Someone made a post. They said are there any comics about bank robbers, about like where the protagonist is like a bank robber, and like showing how cool bank robbing is and stuff. And it didn't get any responses, and I don't have a Reddit account to reply. But I was like, yeah, it's kind of like they're just not allowed to make that. The Comics Code Authority literally, like, almost explicitly forbids exactly that. Like, you're not allowed to depict crime in a good light.
Yeah.
Like,
that's kind of funny though that a guy just was like, can we have like a bank robber?
Jesus
in, like, a comic?
Christ, Gelteran.
This is a terrible intersection, but we need it. Don't worry.
This is the ugliest thing ever. Like, I'm almost tempted
You know what?
to go to the
If the-
effort
if the-
to normalize this. Like,
You can do that if you want.
I can't be bothered
because
because one of them
that.
has to go down this really
There we go.
steep hill, so it made going down that steep hill even more difficult. So I don't even want to touch it. But
Yeah, that's what I thought.
God,
Yeah,
this
I was
is
like,
our
I
rat's nest of our
tried
Sid one.
I tried to, but like, you know, we're having like we're getting a quad.
This is like this
section here. This is
literally
not
looks like
right.
spaghetti. This is literally spaghetti.
It is. I love some spaghetti.
My
son. You don't
goodness,
understand.
my
I
goodness.
love
You
some
might as well have
spaghetti.
some roundabouts in her as well.
True.
Jesus Christ.
But this is also going past the radiation zones. You have to be very careful with not dying. So you know what?
Oh yeah.
I think for that it's
they're all
fine.
those like mineable nodes. Like I'm not gonna bother with them.
I am not mining them.
Had enough
not
of that.
now, at
Let's
least.
see. The
I
comics industry is first. Demon Slayer. Oh yeah. I love. Now I really want to get accurate information about this because there's one thing. That's one like. Ooh, that's the edge of the map. There's one thing that's really annoying about the comics industry. Is like they hide how much they're selling. Like you know, if you want to know how many copies of a video game sold, easy. You want to know how many how much money a movie made, easy. You know, there's no problem in any of these things. You know, but you want to know how much a comic book sold?
good fucking luck.
Like they're a bit shy. They're a bit shy.
Shy is an understatement. They're fucking scam.
Which well, I guess that tells you enough. You know, they're not selling anything.
Scum.
But it's clear that they're not selling very well.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But I really wish I could know because I would like to know actual information. You know, you can't trust like any of the numbers they give. They're all
Okay.
They're all none of them are accurate.
Okay, intersection is actually done. This is a functional intersection.
Functional.
Functional is like the operating word here. I'm gonna be honest. It's not pretty.
Our best.
I'm gonna put like a marker to show where each like intersection part starts as well, because they all start at different points. Like that bad. I'll put like a power pole on like each start area.
From this distant vantage point, it doesn't look that bad. It almost looks organized. You'll see it on the dolly.
I mean, it has like there is a level of like, yeah, this is what the thing is doing, right? Like it has like a level of.
But one
it has a level of.
I had a rare moment of optimism. I had a rare moment of optimism the other day.
Huge.
Well, I was ranting about the comics industry. I was like, "Oh, it's bad. It's all shit. I hate it." And then the thought came to me that it's irrelevant. It's dead. Hang on a minute. Something's going on here. Why are there two sections here? You've done something strange.
What where?
You've connected one at an odd area. Sort of they're not coming out at the same point.
Yeah, like I said, it's functional. Because trains will automatically path in their own blocks. As long as we separate the blocks out, we'll be fine.
Would this rail not connect to the other one? Was it too far?
It won't connect to the other one. It won't connect. Then. Don't even try it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to touch this thing. Son, do you have any idea how much that narrows it down? You rant about the US comics every bloody day. Okay, yeah. It does. I was ranting yesterday. This is yesterday evening.
Yesterday,
less than 24 hours.
Oh my god.
And I had this sort of rare moment of optimism where I was sort of acknowledging that, like, looks like they haven't made money. They haven't made any money in a long time. They're irrelevant. They've got no influence over this industry. In effect, there is no comics industry in the West. It doesn't exist. It's an empty market. And
well, it exists, but like it's not really that.
The only thing meaningful that exists is the baggage. That's the only thing meaningful that exists is the baggage, the reputation, the bad taste in people's mouth when they think of comics and they think of bloody 80-year-old people in spandex. That is all comics are.
80-year-old. Okay, hang on. Adam West was like a national treasure. I'm sorry, right? You will put some respect on that man's name. He wasn't even in like the comics, but like you will put some respect on his name.
Yeah, they're so dated at this point that unless they dramatically change, they just no one can relate to it anymore. Like you think like Dick Tracy. You ever heard of Dick Tracy? Like
oh, he's the guy who did
he's the guy in the yellow jacket. You know.
Yeah.
Well,
as I was saying,
like it's so dated. No one will read that because no one can relate to it. Or another one is the guy who travels around the world. I forget his name. He's got like beady little eyes. It's like that world doesn't even exist anymore. Like,
Tintin. You're talking about Tintin.
Yeah, it's like Tintin, or that like newspaper comic strip of like the boomer guy who works at the office and like he hates his wife and he hates his boss or whatever. You know, and it's like
that, you know how that narrows it down.
it's like people aren't or maybe Garfield gets lumped into that as well. I guess you know he hates his pet cat. It's like These people don't
We
exist
love
anymore.
Garfield, though.
This culture
Again-
does not exist anymore.
Garfield is another national treasure, Mr. Son. I wouldn't have you talking slander on that cat's name.
You know, like, and I've lost my train of thought. This is not the direction I wanted this rant to go in. I was gonna say, there are people who in Japan, the way manga artists get their start is by reading manga and getting excited about manga, and they like manga.
Yes.
You know, and then they become manga artists. They say, "Oh, I was influenced by, you know, blah blah blah, you know, Dragon Ball, whatever." But that doesn't happen in the West anymore. That doesn't happen in the West. They don't think, "Oh, I read Batman and I became a comic artist." It's just like, I mean, it does, but like that's how these artists do be, I think. But it's like, it's so like, that's extremely niche. Like you know, the artists don't become comic artists. But maybe what's starting to happen, which I hope will start to happen, is that people in the West are also growing up with manga. And then they think, I want to make a manga. And they do. You see like webtoons and stuff, but they're all ass. There's nothing of any quality.
No,
not
they
a single one.
They are. They so are. You're so right.
You know. And I don't know why. I like there's probably millions of artists, or maybe, you know, hundreds of thousands of artists with like tens of thousands of them being extremely good. Where is our Western Dragon Ball?
It's
Like,
because they're good artists.
Like maybe my theory is that they're not becoming.
They're artists.
I'm not sure where you're going with this.
They're not writers.
Sometimes they can be. Sometimes, you know, in Japan there's plenty of artists and writers. You know, they can be. And
That's true.
You know,
but like,
if you learn one, maybe there's some incentive to learn the other or something. Or, you know, you can have a go at this. I don't think Bleach is a good writer. Type Kubo.
So I used to know someone who had one of their comics bought out by Webtoons, right? And I'm not gonna say who. Right? But I used to know someone, right, in that circle, and they were like a pretty good artist. They were pretty good artists, but they were also like, they became pretty apathetic to their comic, right? Because they just like didn't know what to do with it, right? They were so like stuck for ideas, right? They were good for art. They were good for like, you know, like, and they did stuff outside of that webcomic too. But like,
I think
for the webcomic itself,
I think if you write yourself into a corner, you've got to do a Deus Ex Machina. It's like just make something.
No.
Okay.
I can't explain it, but that wouldn't even work. It wasn't like they didn't write themselves into a corner. They just didn't have ideas.
So they
They just didn't know
burned out.
They just did. It kind of like burnout, but like, in the sense that like they ran out. They just didn't have any ideas for the comic. They were like, well,
It's tragic.
it's kind of tragic, but like. That like webtoons comic artists are like people are hobbyists who like have like money thrust upon them for their work, and they're like told to write, and then when that happens, they're like, oh shit.
I guess that happens with manga as well.
I didn't know I was gonna get this far.
There's not the doujin scene in the West. The webcomics of the Zeros were the last hurrah of Western comics. Yeah, I guess so. And you mentioned
That's
the
also
doujin
true.
scene. That's sort of like, I've never really thought about that very much, but I guess there is a sort of you know, you can like, I don't know actually. This isn't even like a Guna take, but the doujin artists are considerably better like than like literally anything on this planet. Like they're very good at drawing.
Well, that depends. I've seen some like pretty poorly drawn anatomy in
Okay,
doujins.
I guess it's a big industry, but the good
Yeah.
doujin artists, they're exceptional. Like they are
True.
better. They are better than like most like safe for work manga artists.
Oh yeah, 100%. But like,
Let's
I'm
see.
just saying, like,
You
I wouldn't
make
say
a
all
just
doujin
sort of-
artists.
Yeah, I guess there's that. Yeah, you don't make like a fan comic. It's like not a thing. But let me try to like escape from this cynicism for a moment, because I wanted to show the optimism idea I had. I think right now as we speak, I think there are, and frankly it has been going on for a long time, but it hasn't like exploded. I don't think is that there are people growing up in the West with manga and think, I want to make a manga myself, and so far they're not very good at it. But I think that given enough time, someone with talent will appear, and they will make basically a manga. They'll quit a comic. It doesn't really, it's semantics. You know, they'll make a comic, and they'll post it on like Twitter or whatever. Like, screw the publishing. They'll post it online. They'll get it in front of people's eyes, and you know. Sorry, I got you can't see it. I've got the screen capture thing set properly now, but I didn't know I had emo pook in my friends. I didn't even know that.
The huge issue with this, son. The huge issue with this
go
is that it's not going to be a manga. It'll be in like maybe the manga style, but it will not be a manga.
That's good. That's good. I don't want it to be a manga.
Okay.
Because there's you know the motivate like if I would just want to read manga, there's millions of manga in Japan. I could just spend a lifetime doing that. But
that's true.
It's like it's isolated to Japan and the sort of Japanisms, you know, and you know, they're like we never like sometimes like they do things like have you read what's it called, the Kobayashi's Dragon Maid?
I have read that one.
Or
no, I haven't read it.
I've watched it.
I've seen some of it. Yeah.
I like the Dragon Maid part, whatever the main character Toru, I think it's called. I like that part.
Yeah, she's so silly.
But all the other side characters, I just don't really like. I'm just not really like interested in. Like they're just like this appeals to a Japanese audience, I think. You know.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's meant to. That's like the thing. It's like designed to appeal to a Japanese audience.
It's in Japan.
You gotta realize with a bunch of weebs and like otaku culture is that like it is people from the West enjoying Japanese culture, right? That's what it is.
Yeah. And I think that there's you know, if we can make actual good comics in the West, it can embrace like our own culture a bit more. That'd be interesting. You know, there's some unique stuff there. Like you know, you have like but what I was gonna say is, I think that we will see. I think we will see people making basically like their own manga, but from the West, that are good stories, good drawing, and they'll just like post it on Twitter because there's no industry for it. There's no support structure.
Well, they might post it other places. They'll post it probably on webtoons.
Yeah, they'll post it on webtoons. But the point is, if it's good enough, it'll get popular. People will be like, "Wow, I have to see this." I'll like retweet it. And they're like, "Wow, this is really cool." Like, imagine if someone like made literally DragonAll. Like, imagine Dragon Ball doesn't exist and someone just makes Dragon Ball. Like, it's like it could never not be popular.
That's true. I don't know.
I think that will happen one day.
I'm hot take, extremely hot take. Dragon Ball's kind of mid.
I'll be honest. I like the art. I appreciate the art. And
it's
during its
art.
time, like Akira Toriyama was this like legendary figure at the time.
Yeah.
It's kind of sloppy. It's kind of
like
sloppy. It's not super deep. But it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's alright, but like, I don't know. I just can't get invested in any of the fights because it's like I know Goku will win, or if Goku loses, someone close to him will win. Get all the Dragon Balls and bring him back.
Simple, dumb fun, I guess. But it's still like
it is.
It's got mainstream appeal. It's very charming. You know, but I think this is going to happen one day, and then someone will make this like really good comic made in the West that is free from the baggage of Western comics. Like, it doesn't do the crap that they do. You know, like it's original. It's not like Batman or anything. It's not cape shit. It's not drawn with this ugly colors. It will be good. It will appeal to the exact same audience as manga, as people who like manga.
It won't. No, okay. It's not going to appeal to those people, but it is going to be a revival of the comic industry.
Well, it'll be like the same kind of people who like what's it called? The same kind of people who like Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's basically anime, you know, like that kind of thing.
It's not. No, mister. No.
It basically
Avatar is a
cartoon.
The same kind of cartoon.
Yeah, but it's got the same. It has like it's not. It's like, you know, like if you like anime and manga, you will probably like Avatar: The Last Airbender because it's kind of similar, and it doesn't, you know, just because it's, you know, but you won't like, you know, whatever. Like,
I'm in disagreement with you here. I'm
formatting my argument poorly because I'm getting tired, but
maybe I don't think it. I think Avatar: The Last Airbender is not anime. Like,
I mean, technically,
not.
Yeah, I know, but it's like, it has like the same kind of spirit like as like anime, I think. You know, it's like long form storytelling. Like the art style is not trying to be hideous. The long form
storytelling is done like through a lot of like shows as well. That's like that can be like that is a cartoon thing sometimes. Long form storytelling. Thinking
like I bet there's a correlation. There's a correlation between people who like anime and people who like Avatar: The Last Airbender. Like there's like less of a correlation between people who like, you know, comics and more typical cape shit stuff and that. Like it's sort of
That's true. Okay, yeah, you are right there.
I'm too
But like,
tired
I
to
wouldn't
make
say
the argument.
I wouldn't like you're like no, you're right in some of this stuff. Like you are correct.
I'm right
in, like,
in
there is
everything
more
I
of an
say.
overlap.
I've never been wrong.
No, you're not. No, you're not. I'm sorry, son. Let's get you to bed, Grandpa.
There we go. There's a train line you can connect somewhere around here. I don't know where it is.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Somewhere around
connecting
here.
to.
I assume you know where it is.
I can see it somewhere. Like I can see where it goes, but not where it ends.
Like it's like almost at like the opening of the water over there.
Yeah.
It's like over in that direction. Yeah, I can
I'm
see
not
it now.
gonna have it. I'm not gonna have it go over the water.
No, you
though.
don't have
I'm having
to.
it go round. Like you're right in that like in like Avatar takes a lot of its like inspiration from anime, and that like it looks kind of like anime, and it like, you know, there's some similarities between it and anime. I will be like, yes, you are correct.
Okay, hold on. Let me
True.
distract. Because I need to kill these things.
See you fighting over there. You had to get your ass kicked, by the way.
No, I'm a pro at this game. Watch this. I'm gonna bomb them. Look at that, pro.
Okay, he lives.
But what I want to say is that I think that right now there are people who are they're like anime manga fans, and then they're growing up with like anime manga, and they're artists, maybe they're also writers, and then they write things they don't care about the Western comics industry. It's so dead at this point, it's not even worth like caring about. And so they think they're not going to make a comic, they're going to make a manga. In their heads, this is their like motivation. They're going to make a manga, you know, so they're going to make that kind of style, that kind of storytelling, that kind of vibe. And then it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Given enough people, it's going to be good. And
I've like the person I met from like the Webtoons person I know, they were a massive fan of anime. They were a huge weeb, right? And even they didn't do that.
I don't know. But the point is, I think someone's going to make something good. Someone like whatever you call it, it's going to be good. People are going to like it, and the people who do like it, it's going to be people like it like the same way they like anime. And
I don't know. I think like the definition of like liking stuff anime is because it does have that like Japanese influence in it.
How do I make my argument?
You know what weebs
people,
are like, son.
People, okay, they're hardcore weebs. Anime's mainstream these days. People like anime.
I think that's that, and it shouldn't be. It should not be. Hold up, it should not be mainstream. That is like the issue with anime right now, is that it is mainstream, and that's what's damaging it.
Like people like anime because it's good, because the characters look cool,
good, true.
The premises are cool, the story, the writing is good. Whereas you watch like you read cape shit stuff, it's rubbish. It's rubbish. It's complete rubbish. You know, they've got this comics code authority where they can't depict any kind of criminal in a good light. You know, they can't, like it's just completely rubbish. I'm gonna die.
I still think you're wrong.
You know,
I still think you're wrong.
And this is no one reads comics because they're just rubbish. You know,
that's
they
true.
like
You
anime.
are right. You're
anime,
very,
you
very
can't.
correct
You literally
there.
cannot write Death Note.
But like
in the West,
no
like,
one,
because they're just
you
so
can't write Death
stunted.
Note. But no one's gonna make that in the West. Like no one's gonna make any anime in the West because that's just not how anime works.
Why not? Why not? Like why can't Death Note be made in the West?
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you a big question. Okay, so anime is defined by the fact it's from Japan.
I don't care.
Like that's
I
the
don't
issue.
care. I think it surpasses that. Like you know, you could make it's like
okay, person D.
Look. It's, you know, like
okay, person D.
The word
D.
anime is not even Japanese. Okay, it's shorthand of animation. It's literally a Western word to begin with. Like
True. The word is Western, but the word is strictly defined by it referring to from stuff from Japan.
Yeah, but it's like it's not good because it's from Japan. It's good because it's good. You know, it's like it's people.
There's also bad stuff. Well, okay, anime isn't all good either. There are shit animes out there, son.
It's a huge industry. It's a huge industry, but like
yes, it's an industry that's not in the West.
Yeah, but I guess like they've got this whole structure for it. That's why like we've got this terrible culture of not encouraging good story writing. Yeah.
That's true, because we don't have that culture of encouraging good story writing,
you know.
And that's why anime can never be in the West. That's why
this is the optimistic argument I'm making, that this will change. That this will change,
And
it will
think we're
change
gonna
because
get.
it's profitable. Because anime is
think
popular in the West. You know,
is,
which means
but
it's marketable. Which means
like,
if we start making manga, it will sell.
No. There has been a Western anime that has been tried to be made.
They just failed. They
Got,
haven't hit the note yet. They just haven't hit the note yet.
It was it was shit. It was filled with
what are you talking about? By the way?
It was. I think it was Crunchyroll, right? Tried to release something called High Guardian Spice.
Oh, that
Crunchyroll, a dubbing industry.
Yeah, but like
right?
they made it too Western. They made the mistakes that like
because it's a Western company. It's a Western company that's in the West. That's the point I'm making.
It's like hold on. It's like where the African helicopter. You know the African helicopter where like it's obviously not gonna fly. You know that like total meme. It's like that. It's like, and you could say, oh well, the helicopter didn't fly because it wasn't American or whatever country makes helicopters and stuff. It's like no,
but that's because
it didn't fly because it wasn't good. That's why. It's not because it was African.
But that's because that's not what I'm saying. Because helicopters aren't defined by where they come from.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Is like anime is not defined by being in Japan.
It is. No, it 100% is. It 100% is.
No. Like what anime is. Anime is. It's like we like these like let's take like Death Note for example. People don't like Death Note because it's Japanese. Like if someone made Death Note exactly as it is, but from France or something, it would be just as popular. People like Death Note because Death Note's great. You know, it's a really.
But you're not going to get the equivalent of Death Note from the West. That's the thing.
Yeah, but that's just because they're not good at it. That's why they're just not good at making like stuff. Like it's a skill issue. It's a skill issue.
Yeah, and it's a skill issue we're going to keep because we are it's a culture issue. You have to shift the entirety of the Western culture to make anime to be more Japanese. At that point, it's just like
I think this will happen.
No, it's not. I think it's not.
That there are people growing up. They're growing up with manga, and they will become artists, and they'll become artists with an interest in manga sort of style, and they haven't. They're not watching. Batman comics and stuff.
They're not going to get it. They're not going to get it. They're gonna. It's not going to happen.
Someone will. It won't be exactly, you know, in the like Japan because they're obviously not Japanese.
It won't be. It will not be.
A distinct Western flair, but it won't be bad.
Okay. I'm gonna take what I think you're trying to say, right, and I'm gonna word it in a way that I think is like what you're trying to tell me.
Okay, go ahead.
If I'm wrong in this, then you are wrong. That's what I'm saying. You are saying that the comic and cartoon industry is going to have a shift where it becomes more like the anime and manga industry, and we get better stories. Okay, but that's what's going to happen. And we're not going to make manga, we're still going to make, or anime, we're still going to make comics, right? We're still going to be making comics and cartoons. They'll just be of better quality, similar to that of anime, correct?
Hold on. Sorry, I got distracted by the chat, but I think I'm. What I'm saying is, a lot of
it won't
like
be
what's
cool
bad.
as anime. It won't be
No,
cool. What you're saying is going to be made. It will. Okay, right. Yeah, no. Now we're in agreement. All right. Okay, easy.
You know, like it will be heavily inspired, but not because it's anime, not because it's Japan, but because it's good. Let me give you examples.
Well, you keep pulling Avatar anime when it's not anime. It's close. But it's
it's good. Like a lot of what we think of when we think of anime, we think of like, oh, this is anime stuff. But we're not actually looking at anime. We're just looking at something that's good, and we recognize as anime because everything that's not anime is shit.
I'm gonna be honest. I've seen some shit animes out there.
Yeah. But the point is,
and I've seen good Western cartoons. I've seen some good Western cartoons as well.
Cartoons are good, but comics are not good. And
comics
are good. I think what they're doing, a lot of the differences I think between Western comics and manga are objective. Like I don't think I think a lot of things they're not subjective. They just are bad at making comics. And what makes when someone says, oh, this is like manga and stuff, it's like it's not like that. It's manga. It's just that you've just seen a good comic. It's like it must be manga because like you know if it wasn't good, it wouldn't be like manga. Or whatever.
There's good there's some webcomics out there that are pretty good. Like Homestuck is pretty good.
Like you see,
to an extent, yeah.
Yeah, like you see people with these ugly faces. Like you see these like really ugly faces. You know, where it's like, and it's like, it's almost amateurish. Like, they don't know how to draw. They don't know how to draw. Like, they're drawing these characters, and they got these like horrible nostrils and like these tiny little eyes with the eyes are cross-eyed and stuff because like the artist didn't care.
So
like,
the comic industry itself is going to get like not transformed from the outside. There's going to be a different like comic industry that's going to spawn up. That's what I think is going to happen.
One thing when you read about like the when a manga artist is getting their bearings, they're a beginner manga artist, and they're getting feedback from editors and stuff on how to be better.
Yes.
And they get criticism, like they'll say things like, you're not making your eyes are not expressive enough. You need to focus more on the eyes. The eyes are the window to the soul, that kind of thing. They'll say things like your mouths have too much detail in them. It makes them look wrinkly and old. You got to use less lines and these kinds of things. And these are things that the comic artists do prolifically. Like they give far too many lines to like the eyes and the mouths, and they make the characters look all wrinkly. And this is like this isn't subjective. Like they don't think this looks good. They just don't know how to bloody draw.
That's true. True.
And
True.
If they stop doing this, if they stop drawing their like characters with these ugly like bimbo lips and stuff, because that's what they do. That's what they do.
Yeah,
like
true.
no who wears lipstick anymore? Like, when was the last time you saw a girl with like lipstick like that? Like daily life, like it just doesn't happen.
Daily life. No, there's people out there. There's people out there.
Like that's not fashion. That hasn't been fashion for like literal decades.
It's people are putting on like lip balm and they're like lip gloss. That's like more subtle. No, I mean putting it on.
I mean, yes, subtle, but that's not what comics are. Comics have these characters going around looking like they're straight out of the 1950s. Like they just and they think I'm drawing comics. That's how I draw it. Like manga doesn't do this. Manga always updates. Manga has like modern day hairstyles. Like they have their characters walking around with like smartphones and stuff. Like they even the school uniforms change. But the comics, half the time they don't change. They still draw characters. They draw background characters walking around with briefcases and suits on. Like they draw the characters working in cubicle offices. Like this, they're not in touch with reality.
I mean, okay, manga also does that, but I think in manga it's more like accurate.
Yeah, I think like you still see
the salaryman exists in Japan.
True, but I mean, manga does also do the thing where like they have the old style. I forget the name of their school uniforms, both the male and the female ones. But that's like they know they're not out of touch. Like many manga are. Like modern day, most comic writers are based in New York. Officers' briefcase is still a thing there. Yeah, but it's not a cultural thing anymore. Like
but like they're basing it on what's around them, and that's kind of fair. Also, I've connected up the rail.
Oh, nice. I'm surprised that was able to connect. I thought it was going to be too steep of an angle, but it works nicely.
No, it's fine. Come take a look at it.
I see it. It connects smoothly.
It's a bit of a snake, actually, when you think about it.
Slivery
snake. If I take a look through like the entire area,
the point is like here's another thing. Like I was looking like paneling and speed lines. That's a good example. That's a really good example. Speed lines. You have to have speed lines. Like this is non-negotiable. This is non-negotiable.
Yeah,
you can.
It shows movement.
It shows movement. You cannot show.
Actually,
I will give you like all the money in my bank account. It's not actually that much, like, but if you can provide me a way to show movement in a comic without speed lines, you can't. There's no way of doing it. You have to have speed lines.
It's called arrows.
Okay. You can have like £3.50 or something in my bank account.
I mean, it would look like shit, but I'm just saying it is.
Frankly, that's kind of what speed lines are anyway. They're basically arrows.
Son, can you come here and test something with me? Can you come here and test something? I need you in like a train.
How do I get here? Where are you? I see where you are. I'll fly over.
Yeah.
Are you testing collisions?
Yeah, I'm testing collisions.
Okay, which side do you want me to be on? Which side of the route do you want me to be on?
The left.
My left or your left? Oh,
my right, actually.
I'm gonna go on the side we've established. How about that?
They're both established.
I don't know. We'll see we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. I suspect I'm gonna be on the wrong side, but let's go.
No, you're on the right side. You just need to head towards me.
Let's see. I assume it's here. You check, right? I don't know.
Keep going. No. That's fine. That area's fine. That's a fine area.
You're sat still. I see. This is what you want to test.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, it's good.
Okay. But what was I gonna say? So speed lines. if you want to draw manga, like, so a comic is like it's in the direction of animation. It's like it's not static images. There is a progression of events. There's motion. In a sense,
in
there is
old
animation.
okay. To be fair, in old comics they probably weren't. Like,
Yeah, in really old
thinking about
comics
the
they were
cartoon,
more like they
they
were
were
more
actually
like
just trying to think of like
books.
it was like which is like fair. I think that's the other difference. I think that's one of the big differences, right? Is that manga like erupted with the anime industry, while comics started and then cartoons came about.
Exactly. I believe the origins of comics come from literal picture books, and they just get increasingly more faster paced or whatever, slower paced.
That is where I think that's the other difference with the industry, is that like the industry is just old. But like old, not in a like derogatory way, but old in like a objectively, yeah, they're making comics without thinking about if they were to be made into animation. They are making comics as if they were still picture books.
Yeah, like they're not thinking of animation, whereas manga is,
which is fine.
Through thinking of animation.
I don't think they have to think about animation, but they do have to make their writing better.
I'm gonna say I think they do. I think they no. I'm
Really?
gonna make a bold take. I think they do need to, because they're not selling. No one's buying them. Everyone is buying manga. It is abundantly clear. It is practically objective. Like the amount of people that like manga
the writing
because of this
the
animated
writing.
style. They like this animated style. This very fast pacing. Like people are reading manga. They're not reading comics. I sound like Donald Trump. Like they're like I go to the bookstores. I don't see people buying comics. They're not reading comics. They're reading manga. We gotta sell manga. Millions of people.
Right there. Well, I mean, there are people buying comics. I do see people buy comics because I live near like a few stores.
They're niche.
That,
They're
like,
niche. Like
definitely.
Do we need the numbers? Do we need the numbers? Like
no, we don't. We don't. I still think anime is becoming too mainstream. I think it should stop.
I think it's so big. I think it's in a unique position where it's not centralized. It's not centralized. It's decentralized. Like you can have your hyper mainstream. You can have your hyper mainstream manga, and it still won't affect your niche manga.
Yeah, it's hyper centralized, but in the way that like that the people in the West who go like, this is problematic, can like not do anything.
Exactly. They can't do anything about it. Like,
I hate those people. I think they should be like eliminated from the earth.
Like even if they get a grip hold on Shueisha, the biggest publisher, and they make it so that it becomes politically correct and then it dies, there's still like it's more than a business. It's like a culture. You know, it's a medium. You know, it's like people can just post their manga on Twitter and they will. You know, these manga artists can just go make a Patreon and they will. You know, like you can't police an entire medium.
Okay, but those kind of people, they will police people in the West. They will 100% do it. I've seen them chase off like Japanese artists off Twitter by being like, this is kind of not good, and like complaining. And Japanese artists who don't understand like how the culture in the West is.
Oh yeah,
will just straight up. Yeah, no, it's kind of bad, and you know what? I do not like that.
It's a worrying future, but what was I gonna say something about something. Oh yeah, but the point is like
normies, get out of my fucking hobbies, or I will kill you.
Like when you make a comic and you consider the pacing you're going at, the pacing that manga goes at is the way to go. Where it's sort of like the amount of like time that takes place between each panel, like the level of like frames per second essentially. Manga has it nailed down. This is what people like. This works very, very well. This is readable. This is enjoyable. This is immersive. With comics, I think there's too few frames per second. You're going from like you've got like an entire fight scene in like 4 panels. It's not enough.
Yeah, I think comics are gonna like move more towards manga's like timing and maybe framing. They already are. Art style, but like they're not gonna become manga. They're definitively not going to become manga because they're still going to have like the influence of the West, right?
Yeah, the young artists that are growing up with manga are learning from a manga and not from comics, and so they're learning how to draw. When they're drawing their pretty girls, they're not drawing them with the bimbo lips and the 1950s hairstyles. They're drawing them, more like real people. Cuts. When they're drawing the fight scenes, they're not drawing the weird fake action poses that you see in the West Coast. They're learning from manga, and they're doing actual action scenes, you know, and they're learning from Dragon Ball fight scenes and that kind of thing, and what they're learning, they're not learning manga-isms. They're learning good ideas, you know. It's like manga isn't good because it's like got this unique, weird quirks about it.
Yeah,
they're just making good comics. They're just making good comics.
You were the one who was like, oh, manga is all good. You can't be like it's not all good now. You were the one who was claiming that with your hyperbole, Mr. Sun.
Whatever. What's that? I keep losing my train of thought.
Anyway, I've got rid of the... Well, we should... Speaking of train of thought, we should probably end up, because it's like 10:20.
That's right, I haven't finished my rant.
Your rant has gone on for like 40 minutes. I'm cutting you off.
No, it was supposed to be like 5 minutes. I will finish this. So,
I don't know.
Okay. So what I think has happened. So the ideas that the things that people are copying from manga, they're not copying it because it's Japanese. They're copying it because it's a good idea.
Yeah.
They're drawing speed lines, not because they want to look like manga. Because speed lines are a good idea. You know, like they're learning how to draw like they're giving up color, not because they want to be more like Japanese, but because color is difficult. It's like you don't need color. And it blocks you. Some things
are getting color though still, which is fine. Like I'm not like
I think
I'm not against color, but like it's like the other issue with like colors is that like in the comic industry, as I remember researching, colorists and inkers and all those people, they're all different jobs, and that's why they have colors, because they have like the ability to like have the means to make a guy dedicated to the color side of things.
Traditionally,
but, like,
the
manga,
colorist was not an artist. He was, because back in the day, in the early days, the colorist was flat colors. You were just literally a coloring book. There was no lighting going on.
Yeah.
And so they just got some kid off the street to do it, and it's more or less been that culture the whole time. So the colors
well,
are
in manga, it's like in manga, because old manga just didn't use it. They usually didn't extend it, but also just because there's less people working on the manga, they just don't. They're like, we can sacrifice color and make more money, and that's true. They do that.
But there's challenges, unsolved problems in color, because manga's like they've revolutionized the industry. You go from like starting in the 60s, you got to present day, and the techniques they've developed in manga, like the speed lines, the sort of background effects that like you know that like thing where it's like the screen's black and there's like a lightning bolt that goes past, like a horizontal line, like a white line, like, and it's like a spark moment. It's like who thought of that? Like, that's kind of a clever idea. Like, how is that so expressive? Like, someone thought of that. That's like a innovation.
We don't get those more abstract like ideas in comics, right? That's the thing, because that's like an abstraction of like reality. Where it's like not real. Anyway, we are cutting off here. I am cutting it here now.
Okay, hold on. I will finish. It will be 20 seconds. It'll be like 20 seconds. You know? I think that these artists who are growing up with manga, they're going to go and make basically manga in there. What they'll call it like manga, but they'll be like it won't be Western.
What? No. They're not going to call it manga. They're not going to call it manga.
I don't care what they call it. Let me,
I care.
I will not go
I
tangent.
care.
I will not tangent again.
I
I will not tangent again. They'll make something that looks more like manga than it does. It'll be more inspired. It'll be inspired more from manga than from like Cape shit, and it'll be good.
True.
It'll be really popular.
That's true.
It'll be really popular.
That's true.
Someone will make something that's like the same level as like Dragon Ball or Naruto or Bleach, and people will love it. It'll be so popular, and then you get like investors will look at this and they'll say, "This is really popular. Do you want us to like make merchandise of this?" Like they do with anything. A popular VTuber gets merchandise and stuff, and then they'll have this, and then maybe someone will make let's turn this into a movie and like an animated movie or something. And this does happen.
Yeah.
This does happen.
I think that bit's not going to go as far. Because
if it's really good, it has to be something really, really good, something exceptional.
Even if it's really good, because in the like this is less about like this is less like disagreeing with you in the sense that like they're not going to do this, but more executives in the West do not value the creator's input as much.
That's true, but this is gonna be like a 1 in a million thing, I think, where
I think we're not gonna get it that good, but we're gonna get it pretty. Like the comics industry will improve. I think that's what's gonna happen.
The point is, what's gonna be seen from the outside? What's gonna be seen from the outside is other artists who also kind of like manga and stuff, but they haven't got the confidence. They think, there's no industry here in the West. They're gonna see this one guy on his own, who just made like his manga and it got really popular because it was really good, and then it attracted all this attention because it was so good. It was just people saw money in their eyes, and they think I can do that as well. and then going to be inspired. And then rather than doing whatever else they would be doing, they're going to become like a concept artist or Magic the Gathering artist or stuff. They think, hang on, I could become a comic artist. Because they don't do that today. No one thinks I'm going to become a comic artist because it's such a dead industry. But they see this guy. This guy will be this inspiration to these people, and then you'll just get hundreds of people making their comics, and then people will start looking for them. They'll think, hang on, there's good comics coming out of the West now. People are making it. There's potential here, and then they'll
possibly.
And then you can form an industry from that. But it starts with that one guy who is like, and in a sense, this is exactly what Osamu Tezuka had done. He had what's it called? There was no industry practically before him. Like, it was so insignificant, And he had this like idea of doing this like 4 frames per second animation. He had a name for it, simplified animation or something. It's basically anime.
Yeah.
And it was a hit. And he also made like manga and stuff. And other people saw this and they thought, oh wow, I want to do that as well. That looks really good. And then they did that, and then you get the manga and anime industry, But it took him. He had to lay that groundwork and show people that it could be done, and he was exceptional.
The other thing is that there was no groundwork before it.
Exactly.
That's the other thing that's the other benefit they had, is because they had no groundwork before it. They had like a clean slate. We have to build upon like the future you're talking about has to build upon what we currently have. Or at least
it needs to be
topple what we currently have. But either way, it has to.
The Western comics industry is already dead. Like, it hasn't made money in decades. Okay, the only thing that remains is like an afterthought.
No. It's like dead in the sense of it being like a profitable business, but it's not dead in the power it holds.
I guess so. I guess I must agree with that. It's
like you said, the comic regulation board.
I think at some point, if the Marvel movies stop making money and they start having to cut departments, they're going to cut the comics department, and that will be a cascading collapse of the whole thing.
Well, the thing is the Marvel movies aren't actually bringing in the money to the comics themselves.
It's the company as a whole. Like, the company as a whole, and like somehow they're funneling money because no one's buying comics. Comics are not profitable. They haven't been profitable for a very long time. And I think at some point, once Marvel and DC start cutting costs, they're going to cut the comics part of their company, and that will be the end of it. That's going to happen. Wait. It's inevitable. Okay. It's inevitable.
Okay. We are wrapping up now. Now we're wrapping up. You are done. You have made your points.
It's an optimistic idea. It's optimistic.
It's an optimistic idea. I'm not as optimistic as you.
I think.
I also don't like parts of this idea, and I'm pessimistic about some parts of it.
I'm too tired to argue my point well enough.
No. I get your point, but I'm more of a I'm person B, you're person D. That's what I'm talking about.
Maybe. I'm far too tired to my point is really good. I promise.
Your point is good. Unfortunately, it's good for person D. That's what I'm saying.
All right, we just need our
vision. The West, the people, the normies, the normies and the not so normies, they can make their like comics that are inspired by anime as much as they like. But they cannot say they are manga, because I will be very grumpy. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, one last thing. Let's take 10 seconds. There needs to be a new name for it. That's one solution. It's gonna have a new name. It's not.
I think it might stay comics. I think it might just stay comics.
Comics is pretty like default term, but it'd have to be like some kind of name. Like, how like we have a Hoover. Like, it's a vacuum cleaner, but it's a Hoover. Something like that. Something like that. Where like it starts out as like some sort of generic name, but it becomes synonymous with the thing. In the same way like manga is. It's sort of like, I think that's what's going to happen. It's going to.
It's not going to be called manga. It's not going to be called anime, because like that's ignoring the fact that that is not like a Western thing.
They call it like West anime or something, like Western anime or something. They'll have like some new name which has no like prior connotation. That will feel like a fresh new leaf. Because if they call it comics, people think of cape shit. If they call it manga, they think of manga. They think it's like, it's Japan, but like something new.
It's not manga.
I think Wesker. Wesker.
I don't think it'll be called that. I think I don't know what it'll be called, but it's not. I think it might be comics. It might be like web comic.
It'll be by definition comics, but it'll have a colloquial name, a slang name that people when they're referring to this
it'll have its own
comics.
Name. Okay. It'll have its own name. I don't think it should be called manga. I just don't think it should.
I agree, because it's manga and like anime. It does refer to like Japanese stuff, but it's but it's like it's heavily inspired, but it's clearly not comics, you know? Yeah, like manhwa,
Yeah.
something like some new word that tells people that this is something new. This is not like free from the baggage of the past, and like any kind of connotation.
Let's make an end of this stream then, because we are done with. We have made the point. We've even come to an agreement, right? You cannot tell me you have more train of thought. There is no more train of thought at this point.
Yeah. There we go. I've left the game.
Like,
okay.
My
Just
head
quit
hurts.
comics or cartoons. See, no, you can't quit comics or cartoons because there's a
You
baggage.
can call it,
If you
okay,
quit
actually,
comics,
you can
people-
call it cartoons. You can call it cartoons. Cartoons are pretty good.
Cartoons suggest animated for the
But
connotation.
they are animated! They are animated! Anime is animated, Mr. Sun! It is already
No,
animated!
I was thinking of comics. Like it's.
That's true. Okay, I can agree that maybe they'll have a different the comics would have a different name, right? I can agree on that, but like it would be called cartoons. It would be called cartoons. Even Avatar was called a cartoon, right?
Once Marvel and DC shut up shop, and they will. It will happen within our lifetime. It's inevitable.
yeah.
All the rest of that industry will collapse. Their influence will collapse. They will no longer have their distributing rackets. They'll no longer have any of this stuff, and there will be a clean state. There'll be an open market where you can do anything, and then that's when it will happen. That's when it will happen. That's when the indies will rise up.
It might just be called indie comics.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Something like that.
It might just be called that. It might just be called that. It might just be called that.
When people speak of like comics in the West and they don't want to scare people away by making them think of like Batman and Superman, they say indie comics, and people are like, oh, you mean like the Archie comics?
Yeah.
You know,
So
well,
like that's already what we're talking about then.
I think indie comics are increasingly becoming more popular. Like the Sonic comics are getting more popular. The Star Wars comics are getting more popular. They're getting there.
Exactly.
They're getting there.
I think that's what the term is going to be called. They're just going to be called indie comics, which makes sense. Accurate. I agree.
And it will be good. It will be good.
Hopefully. Where's this train line lead? Hold up, I'm going through like a cave. Did you lay this train line, son?
Oh, I have no idea where you are. The one that goes through the big long cave. That's like kind of steep.
Yeah,
I did. Yeah.
Yeah,
Why, what's
that
wrong
one.
with it?
Okay, you laid this one. I'm not going wrong. I just haven't seen it.
It doesn't lead anywhere at the
where this one
moment.
came from. That's fair. That's fair. All right, let's say
leads
bye
to-
chat. Bye chat.
It leads near
Bye
to the
chatty.
quartz
Bye
area.
bye.
That's where it connects up near the
Does
quartz area.
I see.
So we have to figure out what to do with that at some point. Let me see if there's anyone to raid. We've only got 3 viewers apparently, but let's see.
We can raid them. Hold up, that's enough to raid with.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm gonna raid Ramnor again. He's drawing.
No, let's take a look at Ramnor. What's he drawing?
Because he's
What's he drawing?
I don't know. Actually, let me have a look. He's drawing himself.
What's he drawing?
He's drawing his own character.
Drawing himself. He's drawing Mr. Ramnor. Mr. Ramnor drawing Ramnor. That's crazy.
Well, he's got good art. He's got perspective there.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's doing some I know he's doing a lot of reps on it, which is pretty good.
That is good. I'm gonna raid him. That way I have an excuse to argue him about.
It comes out onto a dead end. That's why. Okay.
It does. So we go. I've hit the raid button.
Okay, so I will be adding to this train line in the future. Teehee. But adding to it isn't extending it towards another train line, which I think is fine.
Thanks for
That's not a
watching,
complaint about this
guys. We